conflict widens.
We didn't start this war, but under President Trump, we are finishing it.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the airstrikes that took out Iran's leadership have one goal: to take out America's enemies.
This is not a so-called regime change war, but the regime sure did change, and the world is better off for it.
The Israelis say Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei was killed in the first minutes of the joint U.S.-Israeli operation, which depended on the power of surprise, says Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman Dan Kane.
This operation was highly classified so that at each hour, the enemy would see one thing: speed, surprise, and violence of action.
That action continues on both sides, with Iran striking U.S. and allied targets across the region, and aftershocks, including thousands of grounded planes and stranded passengers around the Gulf, plus soaring oil prices and falling stock prices on global markets. CBS News Special Report, I'm Vicki Barker.
And I'm Paul Rasmussen. A man was in critical condition after a shooting early today in Wilkinsburg. It happened around 1:15 a.m. in the 500 block of Ardmore Boulevard. First responders say the man had multiple gunshot wounds. Allegheny County Police are also investigating two shootings last night in McKeesport. 911 was notified 2 men were shot around 10:30 p.m., one in the area of Huey Street, while the second man was shot near Madison Avenue. Both were taken to a hospital in stable condition. It's going to be a warm and wet week. National Weather Service meteorologist Mike Kennedy was Larry's guest on the Big K Morning Show.
Yeah, we're forecasting by Saturday up at the airport downtown 78.
78?
Yeah, that's what we have in the forecast now.
Kennedy says the total rainfall for this week could reach 3 inches. T-riders are being advised of a service disruption this week. In fact, it's just getting started at this hour. Here's News Radio KDKA's Rob Taylor.
Pittsburgh Regional Transit says its Silver Line will be suspended between the Library and Lytle stations beginning this morning at 10 o'clock until 3 p.m. on Friday. There will be shuttle buses that will run between the stations. And once the bus gets you from the Library to the Lytle station, you can continue on the T towards Washington Junction and the city. PRT says crews will be replacing and reinforcing overhead electrical lines. PRT says expect some shuttle delays. There are 9 stops in between the Library and Lytle stations that are also being affected. Rob Taylor, News Radio, KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 289 points at 48,689. The Nasdaq is down 91 points, and the S&P is down 29. KDKA Sports, Pirates Rays. This afternoon at Bradenton, you can listen to the game on KDKA Radio starting at 1 p.m. The news is brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick. For your home's windows, siding, doors, and bath, trust PJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time, 10:03. 24, mostly cloudy skies in Pittsburgh now. AAA traffic in the AccuWeather forecast coming up.
When was the last time you watched your home movies? Disasters strike unexpectedly. Every year, American families lose the one thing they'd run back into a burning building for: their family's memories. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box to help save your family's most important recorded moments so you don't have to worry.
Load Legacy Box with your old movies, film reels, and shoeboxes of photos.
We work our digitizing magic, converting those memories right to the cloud so they're safe and accessible forever.
It's fast, we always send your originals back, and it's done right here in the USA.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box. Better Homes and Garden, Real Simple, and Inc. magazine are all talking about Legacy Box.
New York Times columnist David Pogue says, have them digitized. I wish I'd done it sooner. Take action. Save your family's memories today with Legacy Box.
Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off while supplies last. legacybox.com/value.
Are you turning 65 and have questions about Medicare? Aetna has Medicare Advantage plans that include prescription drug coverage in Pennsylvania with a $0 monthly plan premium. Plus, the plans include benefits like dental, vision, and hearing. You may also qualify for a monthly credit toward your Part B premium. Call Aetna today at 1-888-76-AETNA to learn more.
Aetna Medicare is an HMO PPO plan with a Medicare contract. Our D-SNPs also have contracts with state Medicaid programs. Enrollment in our plans depends on contract renewal. Plan features and availability may vary by service area.
From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA traffic powered by Bowser. My friend Ellen, what's up? Now, what's up, Marty, is a whole lot of the rush hour has eased off, so that's always nice to hear on a Monday. Makes it a little bit easier anyway. The Parkway East inbound, just a little bit slow go between Edgewood, Swissvale, and the Squirrel Hill tunnels. Parkway West has some sluggish traffic for you right around the runaway truck sand pile. Want to head into the construction file and give you the heads up about bridge inspection in a couple of spots this week. You have single lane restrictions expected on the northern end of the West End Bridge today through Wednesday. Crews will work there each day, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And all week you'll find periodic lane closures on the David McCullough Bridge. That's the 16th Street Bridge connecting the strip to the north side of town. And so you'll find the inspection work happening there with lane restrictions as well. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
More clouds than sun with a high of 42 today. Cloudy, low 31 tonight, then rain arrives late and may freeze on surfaces at the start with slippery spots. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Larry Richard for CertaPro Painters. For more than a decade, I've been working with CertaPro Painters doing great work for me, and now is the time. Get a free estimate, get on the schedule at the right price. You never have to wonder what's next with CertaPro Painters. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
It's Marty Griffin on the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
There's a fascinating thing about war and politics, and it's an old cliche, but it's true, that all politics is local and all war is local. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm sitting here this morning and I'm watching videos. One of my son's best friends, and Vince is 15, one of his best friends from Mount Lebanon High School, just started high school in Israel. And all weekend long, he's sending my son Vince videos of missiles flying overhead as they head to another shelter. He said every 10 minutes they're in a shelter. And using the cliche that boys will be boys, and how they take the edge off is that they were playing Xbox in a bomb shelter in Jerusalem. And so it goes. And as I said, all war becomes local war. My niece and my sis, Sandy, is very worried this morning, as the world is. But her daughter, Sarah, and her fiance are in the Middle East right now, and they're headed to Doha, and the airport's closed. And so you're sitting there thinking, where have the strikes been near Doha? How vulnerable are they? And when the airport's open, should they head home to the United States and say to hell with the Middle East, right? And then there are the protests here in Pittsburgh with folks happy about this happening. And then there's my friend Jerry Nasseri. Once again, where all war becomes local war. Jerry Nasseri is a fantastic businessman. Jerry is a fantastic friend of mine who has been in the States for decades. He's from Iran. And let me send you some of the notes that he sent me yesterday, with all wars become local wars. Because at the end of the day, that's what happens. Jerry says, dream becoming true. Listen to this. Dream becoming true for over 90% of Iranian population. Okay, this is the reality of the situation. Who have tried anything in their power to get rid of this regime, Marty, but only been slaughtered by the regime. As we know, and to Jerry's point, 30,000 slaughtered in a couple of weeks, just slaughtered. Let's hope U.S. intelligence and Israeli intelligence with their spies have hit the right targets and killed the right leaders of the regime. Once the dust settles, Marty, with their hatred of the regime, there will be revenge. and finish up the rest. Man. Do they have the will? I asked him. Are they organized? They have the will. Once they feel they have the chance and their sacrifice in lives won't go to waste as they have in the past. And finally, and by the way, I want to thank Jerry for doing this. Marty, they're not as organized as needed, but can be with some outside help and ammunition with Israel, and to a certain degree that Israel has already supplied. All politics and all wars become local wars. And as I'm sitting here talking about serving in the military nowadays, in my day, when you were in the reserves, you were in the reserves till you died. You never got called up. You never, ever ended up in active duty. Doesn't work that way anymore. Reserves end up in battle. Reserves end up at war. And speaking of all politics is local politics, and all war becomes local. My cousin, Rick, flew an A-10 Warthog in battle in the Gulf War, dropped bombs. We're going to talk to my cousin about preparing for war, training for war, dropping bombs, the mentality, how you recover, losing friends, losing loved ones, and fighting a war, and refusing to take a side, just serving your country. As we get into this today, I want your opinion. We have a lot of folks lined up. We have folks in the Middle East. We have folks in Israel live. We have folks here who participated in demonstrations over the weekend. We have all varying observations and points of view. It's very difficult to separate emotions from the videos that you see of American planes going down, and then you hear of American lives being lost. It's very difficult not to take a side, whether you like this situation or don't. Do you support this war in Iran? 866-391-1020. Do you support this war in Iran? 866-391-1020. Meantime, let's hear from Pete Hegseth, Defense Secretary.
Last June, Operation Midnight Hammer obliterated their nuclear program to rubble. Afterward, we told them plainly, that's it, now make a deal. They arrogantly refused. We said, rebuild it, and we'll stop you again, this time far worse. Well, President Trump, Secretary Rubio, Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, they bent over backwards for real diplomacy, offering pathway after pathway to peace. I watched it. I was there. They tried over and over and over again earnest attempts at peace. The former regime had every chance to make a peaceful and sensible deal. But Tehran was not negotiating. They were stalling, buying time to reload their missile stockpiles and restart their nuclear ambitions. Their goal, hold us hostage, threatening to strike our forces. Well, President Trump doesn't play those games. And as Secretary Rubio said after the Maduro raid, if you don't know, now you know. President Trump puts America and Americans first. He doesn't hesitate, and neither do our troops. The mission of Operation Epic Fury is laser-focused. Destroy Iranian offensive missiles, destroy Iranian missile production, destroy their navy and other security infrastructure, and they will never have nuclear weapons. We're hitting them surgically, overwhelmingly, and unapologetically. With every passing day, our capabilities get stronger and Iran's get weaker. We set the terms of this war from start to finish. Our ambitions are not utopian. They are realistic, scoped to our interests and the defense of our people and our allies. Speaking of people, we hope the Iranian people take advantage of this incredible opportunity. President Trump has been clear, now is your time. To Iranian security forces, choose wisely. President Trump has also been clear about your fate in either direction. To the media outlets and political left screaming endless wars, stop. This is not Iraq. This is not endless. I was there for both. Our generation knows better, and so does this president. He called the last 20 years of nation-building wars dumb, and he's right. This is the opposite. This operation is a clear, devastating, decisive mission. Destroy the missile threat, destroy the Navy, no nukes.
All right, folks, we'll be right back. There's a lot more, obviously. From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up?
What's up, Marty? Is a pretty tame situation as far as delays go out on the area roads right now. It gives us a chance to remind you about Pittsburgh Regional Transit's announcement that service on the T's Silver Line is being temporarily suspended for overhead electrical work. This kicked off this morning. Right around 10 a.m., and it will be this way until 3 on Friday afternoon. So T service between the library and Lytle stations will be down, and shuttle buses will run to get riders to where they need to go. And PRT has warned riders to expect some delays even with that shuttle service. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Think your health insurance isn't changing? Think again. Premiums are rising, subsidies may go away, and expensive surprises loom. Have Dina Schmidt and Michael Coleman from One Health Benefits be your health insurance advocates. From Medicare changes to ACA plans, the One Health Benefits experts navigate the insurance maze at no cost to you. Before you renew or enroll, call One Health Benefits. They work for you, not the insurance companies. Call 724-799-8873 or go to onehealthbenefits.com.
My friends at NASCO Roofing take pride in exceeding customer expectations. James from Lower Borough was so happy with the roof work NASCO did in his home that he had them do his mother's roof as well. James loved NASCO's quality work and appreciated NASCO working with his insurance company to get everything approved. NASCO has satisfied thousands like James. Get NASCO on your roof. Call NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000, 412-373-2000. Most jobs done in a day. Special financing available. NASCO Roofing. NASCO.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I was ordering food for the office from the same few places for too long.
For workplaces suffering with office food fatigue, every day's a struggle.
Before starting Easy Cater, I assumed having no good vegan options for Carl in finance was normal.
Easy Cater is designed to treat OFF with a huge variety of favorite restaurants, plus tools to help you meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Used daily, one platform lets you save time and shine. Ask your app store about Easy Cater or start an order at easycater.com.
It's never too soon or too late to need a wealth manager because life is complicated. At Bill Few Associates, we help you manage the complexities and enjoy the peace of mind that should come with financial achievement. Often that means adding value by simplifying things for you. When do you need a wealth manager? Now is when. Bill Few Associates, Wealth Management. BillFew.com, 412-630-6000.
So, we had the warmathon. 2D Mechanical gave away to someone in need a $6,000 to $8,000 furnace free. And that's just the start of it. Bob 2D Mechanical, his people, and I've known Bob since high school, have given away 400 plus free furnaces. Folks, that's greatness. That's a company you want. That's a company you can trust. 412-771-4100, 2D Mechanical. Hey, folks, appliances are big purchases. Mistakes can quickly become expensive. That's why I recommend Voss TV and Appliance. Family owned since 1960. Pittsburghers have trusted Voss for decades because they do right by people. The Voss family and their entire team are experts who know appliances and TVs inside and out and provide helpful advice before, during, and after your purchase. Shop Voss's South Hill showroom. Go to VossTV.com or call 412-650-VOSS. Voss TV and Appliance. The lowest prices, guaranteed. UPMC. Life-saving, life-changing information every single day. UPMC.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I wasn't surprised to see any of it held there moving that damn carrier group that way for 2 weeks. Come on, man. Do I support this? Not my business to take a side on this. I want Americans to be okay. I want Americans to be safe. I want the nuclear threat to be eliminated. If that's the goal, let's go. If we're building a nation, man, I'm not so sure. 20 years in Afghanistan, we can't do that. We just can't. Insanely supportive of Israel. Have been since I was a young man. We're going to hear live from a couple of correspondents in Israel. A little more Hegseth. Folks, do you support this war? 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020. Go.
Israel has clear missions as well, for which we are grateful. Capable partners, as we've said since the beginning, capable partners are good partners. Unlike so many of our traditional allies who wring their hands and clutch their pearls, hemming and hawing about the use of force. America, regardless of what so-called international institutions say, is unleashing the most lethal and precise air power campaign in history. B-2s, fighters, drones, missiles, and of course, classified effects. All on our terms, with maximum authorities. No stupid rules of engagement, no nation-building quagmire, no democracy-building exercise, no politically correct wars. We fight to win, and we don't waste time or lives. As the president warned, an effort of this scope will include casualties. War is hell.
It is.
And always will be.
All right, real quick. Let's take some calls here.
A grateful nation honors the 4 American...
All right. Jim, jump in here. Thanks for your patience, brother.
Hey, Marty, how are you?
Fabulous, sir.
Good. Hey, I'm against the war. I should stress that I'm also a Republican.
Yes, sir.
I voted for Trump based on the fact that he said that we would not be going into any more wars in the Middle East. And I just, for the life of me, can't figure out why we are there. I get that there's a bad regime there and everything else. I just can't figure it out. We have trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. We have no money to fix roads. We have no money for education. We have no money for anything. And we are waging another country's war over there.
Horrible connection. But his point is insanely spot on regarding Trump. We pulled a clip. Jim, I apologize. I had to take you out of there because your connection was horrible. However, what he just said, and you know this, Patrick, you heard Trump. It was almost verbatim what Trump said prior to the election. We want to pay for roads, we want to pay for bridges, we want to pay for schools, we want to pay for health care. We will not go to war. Patrick, describe the pictures that we're now seeing and what Iranians are wearing around the world.
Well, yeah, some of the images that we're seeing, these are from Fox News. If you're watching on the stream right now on the Get Marty pages, it's Iranians celebrating the toppling of this regime that has been oppressing its people for 50-plus years now.
And tell me about that hat that you put up there. It was fascinating.
Yeah, so, and this is interesting, they've got Make Iran Great Again hats that they're circulating and wearing in some of these celebrations. And, the general sentiment that you're seeing in most places is the Iranian people around the world are ecstatic and thrilled this is happening, that this regime has been toppled.
My brother, Eddie, what's up, my man?
Oh, man. Here's my opinion. When I enlisted in the Marine Corps, I enlisted as an American citizen, not a Democrat or Republican. This is a religious war and oppression of the Iranian people. And these people that are protesting this in America haven't seen the death and atrocities that these people went through. And we are there to liberate them as a people, not as a country from being oppressed and their own people massacred.
Brother Eddie, why now? Why now, brother?
Why now?
Yes.
Because of the fact that we have Israel, we have terrorists in Israel that killed people in that Hezbollah. This is a terroristic organization that has a jihad to kill Americans.
It's true. They've killed more than 1,000 American soldiers. This is fact. And as Patrick pointed out, and I heard Hexas say this numerous times, the theory is that they were building a conventional defense mechanism to fend off anyone trying to ruin their capabilities to launch a nuclear strike. That's their theory. So you know. Go ahead, Larry.
Hi, Marty. This morning, I just agree with what the gentleman said prior to my call in. I totally agree that to protect our country and much of the world is to eliminate the nuclear war that could very well happen as a result of problems that Iran has been involved with. And I think it's high time to eliminate that problem. I don't agree with wars. I think the president currently is trying to save our country, definitely, because the Iranians have, over the number of years, have indicated that they're out to kill or destroy America.
They hate Americans. Hate us. They're the masterminds of much of the terror around the world. Brother George, go ahead.
Marty, I heard two great oratories this morning. 2 hours ago was Hegseth. 30 minutes later was Lenny McAllister on Larry's show. And I think I support the war. I mean, I've been torn by this. We're there. There's probably proof. I mean, you never know. I'm sure it's multifactorial, but I do support it. We're there.
We're in. We got to be all in. I'm with George. You're in. You got to be all in. What does out mean, though? That's my concern. What is out? When is out? How is out? How long were we in Afghanistan? 20 years? Can't do that. We cannot do that.
Embark on an unforgettable journey through Japan and South Korea with AAA, April 3rd through the 12th, 2027. Sail 9 incredible nights aboard the boutique luxury ship Azamara Pursuit. Enjoy immersive overnights and extended time in port. Experience samurai towns, bonsai gardens, and incredible cuisine. Relax with fine dining, premium beverages, and shipboard gratuities included. Club Veranda staterooms start at $4,569 per person, double occupancy. Visit your local AAA branch or call 1-800-354-8761 today.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain scent boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Hi, News Radio KDK's Paul Alexander with some really good news. If you're dreaming about a getaway that feels truly refreshing, this September it's time to discover Arizona with me for a 5-day trip based in beautiful, scenic Flagstaff. From there, we'll take in the stunning red rocks of Sedona, stand in awe of the Grand Canyon, and relax along the clear blue waters of Lake Powell. It's a perfect mix of natural beauty, easy adventure, and unforgettable views, all at the best time of the year, with fewer crowds and comfortable temperatures. 5 days, incredible scenery, and memories we'll talk about long after we're home. This September date will fill quickly, so don't wait. Visit travelwithkdk.com for all the details and to reserve your spot on this unforgettable Arizona escape. Or you can call my friends at Cruise and Tour, 800-383-3131. That's 800-383-3131. Give Cruise and Tour a call. Or visit travelwithkdk.com to book your trip today.
Mommy, how come I can't sit in the front seat?
Because I love you and you're just not ready yet.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
24 with mostly cloudy skies at 10:30.
CBS News special report. Iran airstrikes. Not regime change, not democracy building, the Pentagon says, but a joint U.S.-Israeli operation neutralizing America's enemies. But CBS's Sam Vinograd notes.
While saying that this isn't about regime change, I think it's hard to take that out of the equation when you've decapitated the senior leadership.
Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman Dan Kane describes this, the biggest U.S. military operation since the 2003 Iraq War.
More than 100 aircraft launched from land, sea, fighters, tankers, airborne early warning, electronic attack, bombers from the states, and unmanned platforms, forming a single synchronized wave.
4 Americans dead, more than 500 Iranians, including reportedly the Ayatollah Khamenei's wife. CBS Pentagon correspondent Charlie Daggett says, decapitated or not, Iran's been hitting back hard.
They're not just striking back against U.S. military targets, going after softer targets, which they had warned about. They said, we're going after everybody in this region, and that's exactly what we've seen.
CBS News Special Report, I'm Vicki Barker.
And I'm Paul Rasmussen. New polling shows Americans were deeply divided on Iran before the conflict began. Here's News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush.
A CBS News poll taken before the Iran conflict shows Americans uncertain about U.S. involvement. Only 16% support sending troops, while 60% oppose it. About 51% favor military action to stop Iran from developing nuclear weapons. But many prefer diplomacy at 38% or sanctions at 22% instead. Most expect any fighting to last months or longer, reflecting concern about another prolonged overseas conflict. The poll also found that a majority of Americans want Congress, not just the president, to authorize military action, and many feel the U.S. hasn't clearly explained its strategy. Overall, the numbers highlight a public worried about escalation, cautious about direct intervention, and skeptical of entering another high-stakes conflict in the Middle East. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street at this hour, the Dow is down 190 points at 48,788. The Nasdaq is down 74 points, and the S&P down 30. KDKA Radio News Time, 10:32. Our next update at 11 on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Ethos.
If you want to save money on summer camp for your kids, sign up now.
Yeah, this is the time.
Colette Marquardt, the executive director of the American Camp Association Illinois, says this is the time to take advantage of lower prices. She says you're making an investment in your child's development.
Camp, whether it's day or overnight, is an excellent opportunity for kids to work on their social skills and connect with and make new friends.
I'm Rob Hart.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Harold Shepley. People are getting their tax returns back. Should they use that to pay off their debt? Or you have any other suggestions, my man?
Yeah, Marty, a lot of times people, they'll take that tax return and they try to pay on their debt, but it's not enough to handle everything. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a gaping wound. So instead of wasting that tax return, they need to leverage it by calling my law firm to do either a debt negotiation or a bankruptcy.
Go to ShepleyLaw.com.
As veterans, we've lived through ups and downs. For many of us, alcohol's been there for both. Over time, we realized that a bottle of beer isn't a bottle of beer, and 2 fingers of whiskey are more than just the liquid. What we're really consuming when we drink is time. Sometimes it's a good time. Time with new friends in a bar, old friends over cards, or just a moment to unwind at the end of a long day. Sometimes it's wasted time. Time that could be better spent focusing on things we never finished and reconnecting with those we lost touch with or pushed away. But sometimes that drink is time that gets out of hand. It's time spent apologizing. And sometimes it's time with a heavy cost. If you feel your alcohol consumption has become unmanageable, VA has treatments to help you manage. Visit va.gov/recovery.
Being diagnosed with leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, or one of over 100 other types of blood cancer makes people want more time to do the things they love. That means more time to be artists, prom dates, world travelers, and moms. We are Blood Cancer United, the world's leading organization focused solely on blood cancer research, support, and advocacy. We do the most for more people with blood cancer, so people with blood cancer can do more of whatever they want. Blood Cancer United. Join us at bloodcancerunited.org.
From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up?
What's up, Marty, is we have an accident now with crews on scene. This is in the South Hills on Route 51, Sawmill Run Boulevard between Greenlee Street and Provost Road. So getting very close to the very busy intersection with Route 88 at that point. Watch for slowdowns in both directions as you travel there. Parkway West on the inbound ride has delays for you right around the runaway truck sand pile heading into the Fort Pitt tunnels. Banksville Road has eased up as you head toward that same merge point with the Parkway West inbound. Outbound, the Parkway West is rolling well if you have to head out toward Pittsburgh International. Parkway East on the inbound ride has a tap on the brakes for you between Edgewood, Swissvale, and the inbound Squirrel Hill tunnels. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Clouds and occasional sunshine with a high of 42 this afternoon, low 31 with clouds tonight. Rain will arrive late and can freeze on surfaces at the start with slippery spots. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zaire, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
All right, here we go. Monday, starting the week off right. I will catch you all the way until 6 o'clock, but just after Pirate Baseball is when we'll get going. Colin Dunlap, right here.
We're lucky enough to have Robert Berger, fantastic CBS correspondent, live in Tel Aviv this morning. Robert, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Marty. I'm in Jerusalem.
Oh, you're in Jerusalem. Hey, Robert, help me with this. How long have you been in Israel, sir?
Well, I've been reporting for CBS in Jerusalem since 1989, and I was here several years before that.
Robert, how this is difficult for folks to imagine, because I know folks that live in Israel, they're constantly ready for war. Are they always ready for something like this, sir, or is this unique, sir?
I think they're always ready, and there was a lot of buildup to this, even when I think it was flying under the radar there in the U.S. for the past few weeks. You know, we've seen this gradual buildup of American forces, and there's been a lot of speculation that a war could break out. So I would say this time they were really ready, unlike, let's say, on October 7th, when there was that surprise attack by Hamas that had those devastating consequences. This time people were ready, but of course after more than 2 years of war in Gaza, and then we had a 12-day war with Iran last year, people are also weary.
Robert, it's actually fascinating. We have a young man on our street, my son's best friend. He's there right now in high school, and it's fascinating. They're kids, and they're sending us video of the stream from missiles flying overhead. And then they head into a shelter, and they play Xbox, sir, as if it's passé. You know what I'm saying, Robert? It's a very unique environment, isn't it, sir?
Yeah, I mean, they've gotten sort of used to this because of what's happened since October 7th. And even before that, you had there were a number of clashes and wars with Hamas over the years in Gaza, when we had rockets firing in. Now, this time we're talking about ballistic missiles, and there's a big difference. Of course, we saw the ballistic missiles last year as well during the 12-day war. Just keep in mind, a rocket from Gaza has a fairly small warhead. It's still deadly, but a ballistic missile from Iran carries 1,000 pounds of explosives. Whoa. So when they get through, and most of them are intercepted by Israeli defenses, but the figure is about 10% get through. So let's say they fire 100 ballistic missiles at Israel. 10 of them are still going to get through. And if they land in a heavily populated area like one did yesterday near Jerusalem, it can have deadly and catastrophic consequences.
Robert Berger with CBS. the argument that this is payback for October 7th, that we did this for Israel. Is that fair, sir? Is that a fair assessment, or just diminishes actually the size and scope of this?
Well, there are different narratives, of course.
Yes,
I think the opponents, let's say, you could even have in MAGA or in the Democratic Party, or we just heard the Iranian, a senior Iranian official saying today that Netanyahu is fighting Israel's wars. So that's certainly a narrative. But from President Trump's point of view, a nuclear weapon in the hands of a regime like Iran would not. Of course, Israel would be the first to be affected and could even be annihilated by that. I think the other argument is that it's in no one's interest anywhere in the world that a regime, an extremist regime like Iran, would have a nuclear weapon.
As we saw our aircraft carriers move into that area, the biggest presence we've seen in decades, we kind of sort of saw this coming. Is that fair, sir?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been a gradual buildup over the past 3-4 weeks. There wasn't even an aircraft carrier in the region about a month ago, and then they moved in the Abraham Lincoln, which was out near Vietnam. And they brought that over, and then of course, that's a carrier strike group, has several destroyers along with it, and then they brought in more warships, and they've been bringing in, the Air Force is bringing in planes into the Arabian Peninsula, into the Gulf. Then the Ford was taken from off the coast of Venezuela about 10 days ago and brought now into the Eastern Mediterranean off the coast of Israel. So, yeah, it's been building up, and a lot of people wondered if if it was posturing or if it was going to really happen. And then we had the attack already Friday night, Saturday morning in the region. The surprise attack that took out the Ayatollah, the supreme leader of Iran. Among 48 top leaders of Iran were taken out in that initial Israeli airstrike.
A testament, actually, quite frankly, to U.S. and CIA intelligence, sir. They suggest that those leaders might have been taken out within the first minute. Have you heard this, sir?
Yes. I mean, it's amazing. It can't be understated what happened in the opening round. And interestingly, the opening round was carried out by the Israeli Air Force. And like you said, I heard originally they said 30 leaders were taken out in 30 seconds, but we're talking about something like that. Trump later put the figure at 48 senior leaders, but maybe that was an additional airstrikes. But it was a stunning thing, and it happened in the daytime. So. It's kind of shocking that the Ayatollah and his leadership were gathered all together, knowing that they might be attacked, but generally these attacks don't happen in the daytime. But at 8:30 a.m. local time, I think 9:30 there in Iran, 8:30 over here in Israel, the strike took place. So it was really amazing intelligence by, of course, the United States and also Israel's Mossad spy agency.
Robert Berger, CBS News reporter, amazing work out of Israel. Hey, Robert, the sentiment there, regime change, sir, or strike a blow and negotiate?
Well, I mean, it's been stated both by President Trump and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. In fact, Netanyahu repeating this just a short time ago, that the goal is regime change. Now, that is easier said than done. They have taken out the top leadership, but a lot of analysts wonder if this can be done without having boots on the ground. What Israel and the United States are hoping for is that the people of Iran will take to the streets as they did a month ago before they were massacred by the regime, that they'll come back out on the streets and be able to overthrow the regime. I mean, that's what the U.S. and Israel would like to see. We'll have to see if that really happens.
Hey, Robert, how popular is Trump there?
Oh,
they love him.
That's a great question. I mean, he's really popular in Israel, obviously much more so than he is in the United States. I mean, he's seen and this, like, this attack, which, it certainly has a huge benefit for Israel that it doesn't have to fight Iran alone like it did most of the war last year, the 12-day war, until the U.S. came in at the end. I mean, Trump is, I would say, wildly popular, and he's really seen as a great and perhaps the greatest friend Israel ever had.
Hey, Robert, how often are you hearing these sirens, the alerts? How often?
A lot. Yeah, you get these alerts on your cell phone, and then there's also air raid sirens. Today here in Jerusalem, I would say 3 times. It's now around 6 p.m., which isn't that much. In Tel Aviv, though, it's even more often. I know a number of people there in Tel Aviv. They're running to the shelters really all the time. And then, the all clear comes and people go out and start to sort of do things, and then another alert comes. So, yeah, it's quite often that you get these alerts.
Robert, you're amazing. It's fantastic reporting. I can't thank you enough, sir. Fantastic.
Well, thanks so much, Marty.
Fantastic work. Thank you.
Okay, bye now.
Wow. They're so used to this. I'm telling you, this 15-year-old from our neighborhood says, yeah, we're headed to the shelter again. We're playing Xbox. Okay. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA traffic powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up?
What's up, Marty, is it's tame enough out there that we have a chance to head to the construction file and talk about some new projects just kicking off this week. Around-the-clock lane restrictions have started for work on Lebanon Church Road and Curry Hollow Road. So this is running through late September. Lebanon Church Road will be impacted with delays and restrictions between Seco Road and Route 51, Clareton Boulevard. Curry Hollow Road will also get lane restrictions around work between 51 and Arbor Lane. And during the same time period, but only running through late June, Curry Hollow Road will have restrictions between Arbor Lane and Broughton Road. So plan accordingly. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM at AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to the Marty Griffin Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, folks, March is the time, man. The time to look outside and say, I got to get new windows. And the place to go, Universal Windows Direct. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no limit. And check this out. 24 months, no payments, no interest. 2 years, $500 off when you start this home improvement project. Call Universal Windows Direct, 412-545-6003, 412-545-6003. 6003.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding. Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company.
For generations, you've listened to us in your kitchen, catching baseball games on your front porch, and ending your day as your bedtime buddy. Now, you can watch us every day on your TV with our new KDKA Radio YouTube page or by clicking on KDKARadio.com. It's presented by Metropolitan Windows. Same great content, more live visuals. The voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Food insecurity is still a reality in our community. 1 in 8 neighbors struggles to put food on the table, and many are seniors. That's why MediConnect is partnering with KDKA Radio to help feed the need right here in our community. MediConnect also helps seniors understand their Medicare options. If you're turning 65 or reviewing coverage, their local experts provide trusted one-on-one guidance at no cost. 888-818-6334. MediConnect. Insurance.com. Love them. When it comes to building Pennsylvania's future, the laborers are on the job. From highways and bridges to schools, hospitals, energy projects, the men and women of the Pennsylvania Laborers District Council deliver the skilled work that keeps our communities moving forward. Joe LaQuatra is leading the charge to train the next generation, protect worker safety, and stand up for fair wages and benefits. When laborers build, Pennsylvania grows stronger. The Pennsylvania Laborers District Council, working hard every day. My people.
The amount of compensation received from a lung cancer or mesothelioma lawsuit varies. But at Pittsburgh-based Goldberg, Persky & White, the goal is simple. Maximize your recovery and ensure you receive the full compensation you deserve. Asbestos manufacturers spent decades concealing the dangers of asbestos exposure, and today, many suffering from lung cancer or mesothelioma are fighting back. You are not alone in this fight. Call GPW today at 1-800-COMPLEX to learn more.
Larry Richard for CertaPro Painters. I've been a customer for over a decade. Why? Because the professional work CertaPro Painters does protects your home, quality paint, worry-free process, free estimates. That's why I've relied on CertaPro Painters. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Come with me to Get My Invisalign. They walked me through everything I needed to know. How long it'll take, how it works, and what to expect. Then it was time for the real part. They put on the attachments, they blend in with my teeth, they help the aligners grip your teeth and move them the right way. It felt a little weird at first, but honestly, not bad at all. They popped in my first set of aligners, showed me how to take them out, and that was it. I'm officially part of the Invisalign Club. I even wore them at a football game, super comfortable and easy to talk with. For someone who's always filming on the sidelines or covering sports nonstop, this fits my lifestyle perfectly.
Hey, I'm Sam.
And I'm Calvin.
When we started Cousins Roofing, Siding, and Decks, it wasn't a big crew or a fancy shop, just Calvin and me in our grandma's garage.
We'd load up our tools every morning, build decks all day, then unpack right there in her driveway.
That little garage laid the foundation for what Cousins Roofing, Siding, and Decks is all about. Working hard, staying honest, and treating people like family.
We've grown a lot since then, but those family values still guide every job we do. Call the Cousins.
Cousins Roofing, Siding, and Decks. Call the Cousins.
UPMC. Life-saving, life-changing information every single day. UPMC.
Have an issue in your community? Talk about it now with Marty Griffin. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Okay, so you heard from Hegseth, you heard from Dan Kane. We have DeLuzio coming up. We have a reporter calling from Tel Aviv coming up. We have reporters in the Middle East. We have folks that are here locally, that have family there. It's an important issue. Look, it's life-changing stuff. It's not my job here today to say Trump's a bum or Trump's a hero. I just don't feel that responsibility this morning. I feel as, not that we have to be united, we can disagree about things, but as a country, we're in this, man. Once you're in the deep end, man, you got to swim in the deep end. We can't drown. And so if you're in, you got to win. The question I have, and it hangs out there, is, in this scenario, what does win mean? What does it entail, and does anybody really know? By the way, amazing reporting out of Israel. Have friends and family that live there. And you heard from that amazing reporter. It's a bizarre life that it's almost every day that they hear these sirens, yet they remain strong and steadfast in their beliefs, and they take on the world. And this time, we're taking on the world with them. Patrick, something that really is astounding, and it bears repeating, because I heard it the first time and had to hear it again because it was so astounding. The intelligence was so good from us, from the CIA, and from Israel. They believe they took out the most powerful men in Iran in how long, Patrick? How long did it take?
60 seconds. In the first 60 seconds.
No, I laugh. It's not funny, but that's astounding.
It really is. I mean, the precision and the intel. I heard from someone this morning, one of the analysts, that they had hard intel inside
Obviously,
those
people
camps,
in the room.
on the ground,
In the room.
information in the room, or at least real close, because that as soon as that info came out, they took them out very quickly.
And by the way, they vaporized that compound. Vaporized it. Here's the General Kane. Listen to him.
In addition to Admiral Cooper and Fleet Master Chief Compton, I want to highlight a few today. U.S. Army Central Command Commander Lieutenant General Pat Frank, who, along with his team, are fighting the counter-missile and counter-drone fight. United States Navy Central Command Commander Vice Admiral Kurt Renshaw and his team, who are engaged with the Iranian Navy and projecting American naval combat power from the seas. And United States Air Force Central Command Commander Lieutenant General Derek France and his leadership team, who are crushing Iranian targets from the air. I want to highlight the support to the CENTCOM fight from other combatant commands who are directly involved with this effort, to include U.S. Spacecom, U.S. Cybercom, and U.S. EUCOM. I also want to specifically call out United States Transportation Command and U.S. STRATCOM for their contributions to this fight. We cannot project American combat power at the time and place of our choosing without both. And finally, I want to express how deeply thankful I am for the continued service and sacrifice of the entire Joint Force and their families. Their unwavering commitment and dedication are the cornerstones of this effort. So let me start with a few details. First, to be clear, as the Secretary said, this is not a single overnight operation. The military objectives that CENTCOM and the Joint Force have been tasked with will take some time to achieve, and in some cases will be difficult and gritty work. We expect to take additional losses, and as always, we will work to minimize U.S. losses. But as the Secretary said, this is major combat operations. So let me talk about the preparation and the planning. On February 28th, the full strength of America's armed forces came together in a unified purpose against a capable and determined adversary. The United States Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, Space Force, Coast Guard, and our reserve components integrated across our combatant commands and began coordinated operations with the Israeli armed forces of an unprecedented scale. As the Secretary laid out, our military objectives are clear. Our mission is to protect and defend ourselves and, together with our regional partners, prevent Iran from the ability to project power outside of its borders and be ready for follow-on actions as appropriate. Across every domain, land, air, sea, cyber, the U.S. Joint Force delivered synchronized and layered effects designed to disrupt, degrade, deny, and destroy Iran's ability to conduct and sustain combat operations. On the U.S. side, this marked the culmination of months and in some cases years of deliberate planning and refinement against this particular target set.
As we move through the day, folks, we will talk live to another reporter in Tel Aviv. We will talk live to a young man who has been in battle, who has been in a jet, who has dropped bombs, who has planned this sort of mission. We'll also hear from Congressman Chris DeLuzio in the next few minutes. Hang in there, a lot to go, folks.
When you need to know, depend on the news leader. At home, in your car, or at work. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM, AM 1020, and KDKARadio.com.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Hey, it's Andrew Filippone for my guys at Comer & Cross. With warmer weather, right now is the right time to call Comer & Cross at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Before that schedule fills up, your new Comer & Cross garage floor will transform your garage in just one day. And take it from me, you will love it. Comer & Cross makes it so simple. They take all the stuff out of the garage for you. They can even make it secure on site. They'll fix your cracks and pits in your garage perfectly. And one day, you're driving on your gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor. It is an incredible experience. So take advantage of Comer & Cross's great offer right now, the gold standard, a garage floor that's never going to chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever again. And these are pros, not subcontractors. So call Comer & Cross for your free, quick, and easy estimate before that schedule fills up. Call 1-800-NEW-FLOOR or just say, hey, Siri, call 1-800-NEW-FLOOR to speak to them or go to COMERcross.com.
When was the last time you watched your home movies?
Disasters strike unexpectedly. Every year, American families lose the one thing they'd run back into a burning building for, their family's memories. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box to help save your family's most important recorded moments so you don't have to worry.
Load Legacy Box with your old movies, film reels, and shoeboxes of photos.
We work our digitizing magic, converting those memories right to the cloud so they're safe and accessible forever.
It's fast, we always send your originals back, and it's done right here in the USA.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box. Better Homes and Garden, Real Simple, and Inc. magazine are all talking about Legacy Box.
New York Times columnist David Pogue says, have them digitized. I wish I'd done it sooner. Take action. Save your family's memories today with Legacy Box.
Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off while supplies last. LegacyBox.com/value.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
26 and mostly cloudy at 11 o'clock.
CBS News special report. Defense Secretary Hegseth says the war in Iran is not endless, and this morning he paid tribute to the Americans who've been killed.
A grateful nation honors the 4 Americans we have lost thus far and those injured. The absolute best of America.
Hegseth said Iran is to blame for the conflict.
The former regime had every chance to make a peaceful and sensible deal. But Tehran was not negotiating. They were stalling, buying time to reload their missile stockpiles and restart their nuclear ambitions. Their goal, hold us hostage, threatening to strike our forces.
The defense secretary insisted the U.S. is not seeking to change Iran's regime with the killing of Ayatollah Khamenei. Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Kane.
This operation was highly classified so that at each hour, the enemy would see one thing: speed, surprise, and violence of action.
CBS News.
And lawmakers are expected to vote this week on resolutions to require President Trump to seek congressional approval to use military force. Pennsylvania U.S. Senator John Fetterman's thought on that topic.
Now, have people ever read the War Powers Act? You know, what's required of the president is to provide 48 hours of notification, and then he or she have 60 days, up to 90 days, to withdraw those troops, you know, before Congress approves that. Neither of those have been activated. He did provide that to the Gang of Eight. And there are no American troops on the ground now.
Gas prices are rising, and AAA says conflict with Iran could push them higher in coming weeks. With that story, here's News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush.
The average U.S. price for a gallon of regular gas stands at just under $3 Monday morning. And AAA's Jim Garrity tells KDKA Radio gas prices could rise further if tensions in the Middle East continue.
How much remains to be seen, and what happens next with this situation is also up in the air. You have everything happening overseas at the same time that you have normal seasonal trends, with gasoline going upward this time of the year anyways.
Garrity says it's too early to know for sure, but he recommends that drivers shop around, plan trips carefully, and consider carpooling to save at the pump. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
It's going to be a mostly dry day with the exception of snow well to the south of the city, but looking ahead, National Weather Service meteorologist Mike Kennedy says we could see significant rainfall.
It's just going to be the periodic chances of precipitation and a general warming trend. We could see upwards like 3 inches of rain total by the end of the weekend.
Temperature-wise, Kennedy says we could even reach a record high of 78 on Saturday. A prize-winning ticket worth just under $556,000 in the Money Power Progressive game was purchased in Allegheny County on Saturday. That ticket sold at Shop and Save on Babcock Boulevard in Shaler Township. At this hour on Wall Street, the Dow is now down 164 points at 48,814. The NASDAQ is down 49 points, and the S&P is down 24. KDKA Sports, the Pirates and Rays are playing this afternoon at Bradenton. You can listen to the game on KDKA Radio starting at 1. The news is brought to you by PJ Fitzpatrick. Need a new roof or just want to repair a small leak? Trust PJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time, 11:04. Mostly cloudy skies and 26 now. AAA traffic in the AccuWeather forecast next.
Suffering from peripheral neuropathy? Learn how over 15,000 sufferers regained their comfort, mobility, and quality of life with Tri-State Neuropathy Center's successful treatment plan that is FDA cleared, non-invasive, and drug-free. Here's Sean Ritchie, DC, and Tri-State's founder about one of their many satisfied patients.
One thing I've learned about people that get numb with a neuropathy, they have balance issues, just like Bob from Gibsonia. His numbness got so bad, he started to have to shuffle and was starting to have some falls. After completing our FDA-cleared treatment program, he is doing so much better. In fact, he was at his friend's house and he was at the American Legions, and they couldn't believe the difference that they saw in him.
Tri-State Neuropathy Centers help Bob. Let them help you next. Call 724-940-9000 for a free consultation. That's 724-940-9000. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers, the leader in treating peripheral neuropathy. Learn more at marydanston.com.
From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. My friend Ellen, what's up?
All right, Marty, what's up is if folks are just about to grab the keys and head out the door for the commute through the late morning, it's really not too tough for you. Just minor delays approaching both the Fort Pitt and Squirrel Hill tunnels on their respective portions of I-376 and elsewhere around the rush hour. Things are moving pretty nicely. Gives us a chance to remind you of some new projects kicking off today. A culvert replacement project in Marion Township, Beaver County, is affecting Pine Run Road. So we have a closure there. Pine Run closed near Venue Drive, and that'll happen through late May. You will have a detour using the replacement, around that replacement work, rather, via Hartzell School Road and Route 588, so do leave extra time to get around that. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
This afternoon, clouds will limit sun with a high of 42, then cloudy, low 31 tonight. Rain arriving late may freeze on surfaces at the start with slippery spots. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Premium roofing starts with a team you can count on. Call the Genius Choice in Roofing, Home Genius Exteriors, where you get a dedicated project team with certified installers. Right now, get 50% off roofing materials, plus no interest and no payments till 2027. Call Home Genius Exteriors now at 855-UR-GENIUS to schedule your free, no-obligation roof and attic inspection. That's 855, the letter U, the letter R, Genius. Home Genius Exteriors, a different experience. See website for details.
Did you know that the only cause of mesothelioma is exposure to asbestos? Did you know that many local area tradesmen were exposed to asbestos and didn't even know it? The sad reality is asbestos-related diseases are often fatal, yet entirely preventable. Pittsburgh-based Goldberg, Persky, and White understands the complexities of asbestos exposure and are dedicated to fighting for the compensation you deserve. GPW can't change the past, but we'll work to transform your future. Call 1-800-COMPLEX to learn more.
He's live, he's local, he's Marty Griffin. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
At the end of the day, folks, it's a war and we're in it, and we have to win it. But what does win it mean? Varying degrees of support depending on the polls, depending on the people you would talk to. Screw the polls. Win, move, go. My man Dave.
Good morning, Marty.
Please, you support this?
Yeah. Yes, I do. I support this. Iran has been in a de facto war with us for the last 40 years, from the Iran hostage crisis to the bombing of the Marine barracks in Lebanon, to all the different terrorism that they have exported over the last 40 years. We have tried to appease them. Multiple presidents over multiple years have tried to appease them, tried the diplomatic route, tried sanctions. None of it has worked. All it did was bought them more time.
What's the end game, brother?
The end game is exactly what's happened. You've taken out their leadership. Now you're going to destroy any semblance of nuclear weapons that they, or productions they have. We're going to go after their ballistic missiles and degrade their stock of any ballistic missiles they have. And we're already destroying also their production facilities for their Shaheed suicide drones, which is also going to affect the Russians because they've been supplying those same drones to Russia to use against Ukraine. So, this is a multi-pronged.
Yeah, but no one knows the end game. What the end is where it ends, and that's my problem. I love Dave. I love where he's coming from. I get what he's saying. But I want to know the end game. What does out mean? What does end mean? Consider what happened in Venezuela. What happened in Venezuela? I don't know. Is that this? I don't know. We are now at war. Big time war. And war is hell and people die. And Americans die. Congressman Chris DeLuzio joining us live.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Hey, good morning.
At some point, you're going to have to realize he doesn't give a damn about you or the War Powers Act. And I mean the president, sir. He just doesn't. Obviously, right?
Well, Marty, I think it's not that complicated. The country decides when we send Americans to fight and bleed, and I'm sure you've been talking about it. There are already 4 dead Americans, which is just horrible for their families and the country. There are other Americans battling wounds. We haven't decided as a country to go fight this war, and I don't think we need to go fight this war right now in this way.
But, I respect and admire you, Chris. I always have. But at the end of the day, my question is valid, sir. He doesn't give a damn what Congress thinks. He doesn't give a damn what you think. As far as he's concerned, the War Powers Act is an impotent gesture of wording on a page, and it doesn't matter. You can kind of argue that, couldn't you, sir? He doesn't care. He ignores you, doesn't he, sir?
Well, the problem there, Marty, our Constitution isn't a suggestion. Our laws aren't suggestions. The American people, we rule ourselves. Right? No one rules over us. Our laws matter. And again, let's get to the basic thing, okay? There are a lot of people beating the drum for this war right now.
You're right, sir.
A lot of people in power, a lot of politicians. And I've been posing a simple question that I hope if you have them on, you'll ask them. How many Americans are you willing to see die for this? Because if they can't answer that, they have to shut up about it. And I will tell you, the reason why I asked that.
I hate to stay on this, but it's not as if, sir, you can't stop it, my man. The train has left the friggin' station, sir. It just has, right?
Well, I think the Congress can do some things here. I think we can say you can't spend money if we don't say it's worth Americans risking their lives for. We can say you got to withdraw forces if we don't think it's worth Americans risking their lives. And let's be clear about the costs. Already 4 dead, others wounded. 3 F-15s. Those cost $90 to $100 million a pop. Munitions, interceptors.
Hold on, I got to stop you on the F-15.
Firing off to defend other countries, by the way.
Congressman, I got to stop you on the F-15. This is actually fascinating. That was friendly fire, sir. From it sounds like Kuwait. How's that happen, sir?
We'll find out. I think it's something we have to do real oversight on top of everything else, because American pilots there could have lost their lives. I mean, my understanding is they safely ejected, thank God. But this is, we're getting into the basic point. When you send Americans to fight, there are consequences and risks. And again, we already have dead Americans, which is just horrible, horrible. And so there's a reason you don't rush into wars you don't have to fight, Marty, and you know this.
Yes, sir.
And that's the job we in Congress have to do. And the American people decide when we send people to war. I think about the difference. My grandparents both served in the Navy, right, World War II. When our country went to World War II, if you would ask Franklin Roosevelt or Harry Truman, how many Americans should risk their lives to win, they'd say as many as it takes to win, because the country decided to be at war. We have not decided to fight this war. I don't think we need to.
What's the end game, sir? I can't put my finger on what the friggin' end game is, Congressman.
Marty, part of the problem is this president and his team have not said what it is. You heard Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense, today say, this is not a regime change war, but there's been regime change. They took out the entire leadership, as best we can tell, of this government without a plan for what comes next. And again, I say that not lightly. I say it as a veteran of the war in Iraq, where regime change led to decades of instability, trillions of dollars in precious American blood spilled. I don't want to see another generation go through that.
Completely agree. We spent 20 friggin' years in Afghanistan. And this was the president, sir, that said he was going to be the peace president. Is it not, sir?
You know what? He did say it, and frankly, I think a lot of folks I've been hearing from fellow veterans and others who might be, kind of core MAGA people, maybe some of your listeners who heard that from the president and liked what they heard, because I think we've seen foolish wars in my lifetime. He's betraying that, and I don't care if you're right or left in the politics of this. I don't think you want Americans bleeding and dying unnecessarily. I think that's a patriotic impulse. And Donald Trump, as a candidate, said he wasn't going to go start new wars. I'm losing track how many countries he's bombed at this point.
But, sir, there is really, and I hate to keep beating this drum, but it's actually true. You can't stop paying. He just goes to war, sir. They just drop the damn bombs. You can't do anything. There's a certain sense of helplessness, isn't there? And powerlessness to a Congress that's supposed to have authority.
Well, I think people got to grow a spine in the Congress. We're sent to serve the people who send us. We're sent there to honor our Constitution. We're going to have a vote this week on a War Powers Act vote that says withdraw forces, our Americans, from active war in Iran. I think people in Congress, no matter their party, and I think there are going to be some Republicans joining Democrats to vote for this, ought to do it.
Yeah, but even if you vote for it, sir, he doesn't have to pay attention to that, sir.
Well, Marty, that's not how our Constitution works.
I know how he works, brother. Come on, Chris.
Well,
we've been down this
road.
We'll
find out.
Huh?
We will find out. Yes, and, I'm not naive, but I'm also optimistic about where the American people are. And again, I don't think they want to see Americans go bleed and die in a war we don't have to fight.
Congressman,
that's
you're the best.
Appreciate you, sir. I don't think we can fight this war today, Marty.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I am lucky enough to have Ruth Bloom from Tel Aviv. Ruth, how are you?
Hello. Hello. Thank you for having me.
I am so grateful for you calling in. Give our listeners your background so they understand the impressive resume you have and the history you have.
Well, I am a columnist at the Jewish News Syndicate, jns.org. I have a podcast called Israel Undiplomatic with my co-host, Ambassador Mark Regev, who was the Israeli ambassador to Britain. And I also happen to have written a book more than 10 years ago about how Obama was Islamizing the Middle East, finishing the job that Jimmy Carter started. And the book describes the takeover of the U.S. Embassy in Iran by the so-called students who backed the Ayatollah Khomeini.
Ruthie Bloom is in Tel Aviv right now. How often are you hearing the sirens, Ruthie?
Oh, very regularly, although today we heard fewer. Yesterday, I think maybe 20 times I was in the bomb shelter.
20?
Today, only about 5. I lost count already. And I have to say that it's an amazing thing to know that despite the sirens and the bomb shelters, most Israelis are so supportive of this action. There's actually a mood of elation, and it is the Jewish holiday of Purim, where it's exactly the story of Jewish survival and thriving from ancient Persia. So it's really a perfect analogy.
Ruthie, 20 times in a friggin' bomb shelter, that becomes passé to you, doesn't it? Almost like scratching an itch, right? I mean, it's that common, isn't it?
Yeah, in a way, but I got to tell you, unfortunately, it's been common. Now, I'm originally from the United States. Yes. I grew up in New York. I moved to Israel 48 years ago. And in all that time, and I raised 4 kids here.
Wow.
I have been through so many wars and terrorist attacks and all that, and sealed rooms. I mean, the Gulf War, we had gas masks because we thought that Saddam had chemical weapons, and I mean, I've been through it all. And there was the first Intifada and the second Intifada. Buses were blowing up, and I'm, and all my kids served in the military, and one of my kids was in every war, and in Lebanon and in Gaza more than once, and spent most of this last war in Gaza as a reservist at nearly 40 years old. Okay. So we've been through it all, but I will say one thing. First of all, everybody in the bomb shelters, wherever they are having a great time because their spirits are high. And so they're getting to know their neighbors, or right now in bomb shelters that are, let's say, in underground parking lots, let's say under the mall, people are actually reading the Book of Esther. That's traditional on this holiday. And singing, dancing. It's kind of a weird dichotomy.
No, your observation is beautiful because one of our neighbors, he's 15, he just started high school over there, and he's playing Xbox in a bomb shelter and messing around with his buddies. It's bizarre for us in the United States to comprehend that, Ruthie.
It is bizarre, but it's beautiful. It's what's beautiful about Israel. Alongside wars and terrorism, all we do is flourish. And in fact, the stock market was soaring today. I can tell you, in the middle of all this, the economy strengthened. And as I say, all this, I mean that on October 7th, 2023, we suffered the greatest trauma maybe since the establishment of the state in 1948. And nevertheless, with hostages in Gaza and soldiers getting killed and all of this awful stuff, there still were, exits and high tech, and it's really extraordinary.
Ruthie, are Israelis looking for regime change here?
Definitely. Yes. Mainly because, I'll tell you, it's not that Israelis want regime change because Israelis care about other countries' regimes.
Right.
In this case, though, first of all, Iran, I don't want to call it Iran. The Islamic Republic, let's call it that, because the Iranians don't deserve to be lumped together with that evil regime.
Good for you.
The Islamic Republic has vowed to wipe Israel off the map. It calls America the Great Satan. And the point is, nuclear weapons or any weapons in the hands of those evil mullahs are a danger to the whole world, and certainly to Israel, but not just to Israel. And we're seeing now, look, they are now bombing all their Arab neighbors as well, okay, including the United Arab Emirates. And so the point is, what we need is a regime that is not about that its whole, let's say, reason for being is not to be jihadists.
Ruthie Bloom, you're amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you, Ruthie.
Well, thank you so much.
Amazing. What I find fascinating is what would be terrifying to us. To them is everyday life. It's absolutely fascinating. Woo! 20 times in a bomb shelter yesterday, and they're playing video games and dancing. Think about it. From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser, my friend Ellen. Sorry for the delay. What's up?
Oh, no, what's up is, Marty, we have some sluggish traffic getting up onto the outbound lower deck of the Fort Pitt Bridge. No accidents reportedly in your way, just some congestion for you at that merge point coming from the Fort Duquesne Bridge or from I-376, the city side in that bathtub section of the city. That's our heaviest delay right now. Does give me a chance to pop over to the construction file. We're kicking off today a long-term lane restriction, and this is in Raccoon Township, Beaver County on Route 18 Frankfurt Road. It's a long-term single-lane construction zone restriction that'll be controlled by temporary traffic signals, and that'll be on the Route 18 bridge located between Upper Service Road and Service Church Road. Crews will be doing work there through mid-April. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Folks, appliances are big purchases. That's why I recommend Voss TV and Appliance. Family owned since 1960. Megan, Tracy, the entire Voss team are experts. They know appliances and TVs inside and out. They take the guesswork of shopping and provide helpful advice before, during, and after your purchase. Having knowledgeable people on your side that you can trust matters. Shop Voss's South Hill showroom. Go to VossTV.com or call 412-650-VOSS, 412-650-VOSS. Voss TV and Appliance. The lowest prices, guaranteed. Had a close friend call me last night. True story. Just retired. Her husband is having dementia issues. Is worried about $15,000 a month for care, which is what it could cost. Immediately sent her to Julian Gray. She called me crying. He was so good. He was so thorough. Set up an estate plan. Protect her assets. Take care of her husband. GrayElderLaw.com. GrayElderLaw.com. The best. 2D Mechanical Systems, Pittsburgh's HVAC, plumbing, and electric leaders, is a family business that I truly admire. 2D culture is built on ethics, service, and making a difference in our community. 2D Mechanical Systems, they're the people you want working in your home.
From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in store and online. Staples, that was easy.
Hear about it, then talk about it. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I hope you folks understand I was not disrespecting Congressman Chris DeLuzio. I would never do that. He's a fantastic man. Military academy, father, served in war, has been honored and decorated for his service to his country. Not my point. My point is they have no Jews. They have no Jews. I mean, doesn't mean squat. They can vote on whatever the hell they want to vote on, but folks, the fact is the train is rolling down the tracks. There is no way that train is stopping. It just won't happen. It can't happen. There's no way that happens. And by the way, it's not just Trump. Bush did it. Come on, man. Obama did it. They all have done it. This notion that somehow they're supposed to convene Congress and debate whether or not to bomb the hell out of Iran is passé. I'm not suggesting that that's not what's written on paper. What I'm suggesting is it ain't happening. And the War Powers Act gives the president 48 hours to notify Congress, which he did, has 90 days to pull troops out without congressional approval. After 90 days, Congress has a say-so in what happens. My man, that may, excuse me, I'm stuttering today. I'm so excited about all this. That may be on paper, but in reality, there is no president pulling troops out of this war anytime soon. And there's no Congress that can control that, sir. It's kind of where we're at. Let's accept that and understand that and go from there. Again, it hangs out there for me, and DeLuzio brought this up, the congressman. What is the end game? What are we trying to do here? And how many Americans, as Chris suggested, will die in the process? That's horrific and tragic that one American would die. But the support for this in Iran is overwhelming. And in Israel, listen to this sound from a party going on in a bomb shelter in Israel right now. Listen. Patrick, it's a full-on party.
Yeah, this is part of a Shabbat service. So their the religious services Saturday morning.
And they're in a shelter, obviously. And they're full, flat-out singing and dancing. 20 sirens going off in a day.
Communities coming together.
Flat out. And once again, the 15-year-old from our neighborhood was playing Xbox in one of those shelters. And that kid's from Lebo.
Kimberly Allen here with Corrigan Moving Systems. Corrigan Moving has been family-owned and operated since 1929, specializing in local and long-distance moves. We also offer packing, storage, and much more. Corrigan is ready to provide you a stress-free and simple relocation. For a free quote, go to CorriganMoving.com or give us a call at 724-237-4578.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-265-7681. 800-265-7681. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-265-7681.
After my accident, people warned me to slow down. I said, I don't know how. Thanks to my VA care team, I haven't.
At VA, we're using technology to help veterans recover faster and live their lives to the fullest. Learn more at vacareers.va.gov/PSA.
From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
26 with mostly cloudy skies at 11:30.
CBS News special report, Iran airstrikes day 3.
This operation is a clear, devastating, decisive mission. Destroy the missile threat, destroy the Navy, no nukes.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. President Trump's been posting on social media. White House correspondent Weijia Jiang on what he had to say.
He said that it is the U.S.'s responsibility to do something about Iran's threat to the world, saying that we are the greatest power.
Trump's presiding over a Medal of Honor ceremony in the White House this hour. If he addresses the Iran airstrikes, we will, of course, share that. Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman Dan Kane briefed reporters about the firepower raining down on the Islamic Republic. Here's CBS's Charlie Daggett.
He specifically talked about Space Force and cyber, knocking out Iran's ability to see what was coming at them. He then specifically mentioned Tomahawk cruise missiles, among the biggest munitions that will be fired from this particular region.
4 Americans dead, more than 500 Iranians. CBS News special report. I'm Vicki Barker.
And I'm Paul Rasmussen. Jewish leaders in Pittsburgh are stepping up security and vigilance with tensions rising overseas. News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush has details.
Sean Brokos, Community Security Director for the Jewish Federation of Greater Pittsburgh, tells KDKA Radio the Federation isn't aware of any direct threats locally. Still, security has been increased as families prepare to celebrate the Jewish holiday of Purim.
We have asked our local police departments to provide an increased police presence and just be mindful of the fact that the holiday begins today at sundown and ends tomorrow night at sundown. And with that, you will see an increased amount of gatherings, pedestrians, and members of the Jewish community who are out and about.
Brokos says the community has been on high alert since the 2018 synagogue shooting, and leaders felt something like this could happen. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
At this hour on Wall Street, the Dow is down 256 points at 48,722. The Nasdaq down 62, and the S&P is now down 30 points. KDKA Radio News Time 11:32. Our next update at noon on the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio KDKA.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
Hi, Flo here from Progressive. You know, life changes quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, you mean like adding another vehicle?
Yes, that's something we can do.
Great, because I was thinking about getting a van so we could just keep the kids' softball stuff in the car.
Oh, we don't need to get into specifics. Just saying it's easy to change.
Oh, and Hannah wants to try the tuba.
Again, we don't need the specifics.
Last year, she wanted to be a tap dancer, but that only lasted 2 lessons.
Okay.
But she kept the shoes because they are adorable.
Well, just know that with Progressive, you can easily add another car to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
My friends at NASCO Roofing take pride in exceeding customer expectations. James from Lower Borough was so happy with the roof work NASCO did in his home that he had them do his mother's roof as well. James loved NASCO's quality work and appreciated NASCO working with his insurance company to get everything approved. NASCO has satisfied thousands like James. Get NASCO on your roof. Call NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000, 412-373-2000. Most jobs done in a day. Special financing available. NASCO Roofing, NASCO. Hey, it's Marty. Are you tired of pain or fear of falling that's holding you back, struggling with balance, neuropathy, or joint pain? At Monroeville Physical, spelled F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L, physical therapy is done differently because you are different. Folks, this place is amazing. I've seen it firsthand. Shoulder pain, knee pain, balance issues. They attack it and work it, and it works. Call today. Monroeville Physical, FYZICAL, 412-457-8200. Food insecurity is still a reality in our community. 1 in 8 neighbors struggles to put food on the table, and many are seniors. That's why MediConnect is partnering with KDKA Radio to help feed the need right here in our community. MediConnect also helps seniors understand their Medicare options. If you're turning 65 or reviewing coverage, their local experts provide trusted one-on-one guidance at no cost. 888-818-6334. MediConnect. Insurance.com. Love them.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up?
Marty, as we were getting reports of an accident on the Parkway North I-279 as you head southbound, and this would be as you are trying to make your way between the Venture Street and East Street off-ramp. So we've been scouring that area with the PennDOT cameras, and we aren't seeing any delays. So if it is indeed there, it is not impeding your commute, which is, of course, good news. 28 southbound is moving nicely past the 40th and 31st Street bridges. You are finding some slow-go traffic getting up onto the outbound lower deck of the Fort Pitt Bridge right now, coming across from both the Fort Duquesne Bridge and also as you travel along 376 in the bathtub section of the city, you'll find delays that greet you after you pass that Grant Street on-ramp and off-ramp heading toward the Fort Pitt Bridge. Inbound on the Parkway West, your slow-go at the Banksville on-ramp. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
This afternoon, clouds will limit sun with a high of 42, then cloudy, low 31 tonight. Rain arriving late may freeze on surfaces at the start with slippery spots. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Heather Zare, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mary Claire Haver, a board-certified OBGYN and menopause specialist. My new podcast, Unpaused, is the place for bold, unfiltered conversations about what it really takes for women to thrive in the second half of life. Every week, I sit down with medical experts, cultural icons, and powerhouse women to talk about what really matters. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Listen to and follow Unpaused with me, Dr. Mary Claire Haver, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
What is life-changing medicine? The discovery of cancer at the earliest possible stage, challenging limits and transforming the impossible into reality, or connecting people to doctors and specialists when they need it most. At UPMC, we believe life-changing medicine is all those things. Our goal is to change the world of medicine and the lives of those around us. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
All right, here we go. Monday, starting the week off right. I will catch you all the way until 6 o'clock, but just after Pirate Baseball is when we'll get going. Colin Dunlap right here.
All right. We're at war. Duh. All right, for context here, and I think it's important that we have context. As I told you, I am not taking a side. I'm just not. We're in, man. And when you're in, you got to win. And you got to win fast. You got to be... If I'm going to make an opinion, it's my belief that the will and the force of America is obvious. And I think whether it's perception or reality, then reality becomes perception, right? We're showing great force and great might and great decisiveness. Now, Congressman DeLuzio would disagree, suggesting that we should not be doing this, we should not have Americans involved, and Congress should have the power to pull the trigger here. Senator Dave McCormick, good morning, sir. Thank you for popping in. Your take, sir. Jump in.
Hey, Marty. How you doing?
Great, sir. Should we be able to use the War Powers Act to tell the president when to start or stop an engagement like this one, sir?
Well, first, Marty, thanks for having me, and I want to start everything. It's about 35 years ago to the day that I was in Iraq for the first Gulf War, and when I read about these 4 service members that lost their lives, just praying for their families, and just I think we can all agree on our prayers and thoughts are with the people that are putting their lives on the line for all of us, the men and women. So I want to start with that. I think on what's happening here, I think the president is absolutely acting within his constitutional authority, and you know, you don't have to believe me on this. This is what every president has said for the last 50 years. So when President Clinton bombed Kosovo at length, he said that this was within his constitutional authority. When President Obama took military action in Libya, he said it was in his constitutional authority.
Same thing.
And that's the case with President Trump. Under the War Powers Act, he has to notify the Congress. His team did that. And then he has 90 days before he has further requirements. There'll be a briefing tomorrow of the members of the House and the members of the Senate. And, you know, the bottom line here is that Iran is an imminent threat to the United States. And if you want to put that in context, there's no country in the world that's killed more Americans over the last 2 decades than Iran. It's got blood on its hands. It's got a missile force that bombs, allies in the region and American bases regularly. And it's been the biggest sponsor of state terrorism in modern times. So that's the logic for this, and the president has the full authority to do it.
Senator Dave McCormick, the wording I heard was that the belief was that Iran was building a conventional defense system so that we could not penetrate their ability to launch a nuke. Are you hearing that same thing, sir?
Well, 2 things. It has a remarkable missile manufacturing capability. So they have huge missile capability. They have missile launchers. They have manufacturing facilities. They were making 100 missiles a month when the ability of Israel and the United States and others to have interceptors at that same pace it can't keep up. And, I was on a call with Secretary Rubio, I guess the day before last. There's also evidence that despite what they said, that they were taking efforts to restart their nuclear program following the strikes under Midnight Hammer that Israel and the United States had done. So those are two important things. The third thing, they are the biggest supplier of missiles and drones to bad actors around the world. So they sold 57 or gave 57,000 drones to Russia. Wow. So when you see those horrible attacks on Ukraine and the vast death and destruction there, Iran had a hand in that. They're also the biggest exporter of oil. 80% of their oil goes to China. So these guys are bad actors and have American blood on their hands. And Trump, to his credit, in my opinion, President Trump gave them every opportunity for an off-ramp. And so for those who say there should have been more negotiations, there's been negotiations for 10 years. President Trump gave them ample opportunity to say they would get rid of their missile program and adhere to their promises of not having a nuclear capability, and they simply failed to do that. And along the way, this isn't the only reason I think the president decided to do what he did, but along the way they killed 32,000 of their own people who were protesting on the streets. So this is an evil regime, and there was certainly the president had the constitutional authority to take action.
Senator McCormick, what hangs out there for me, sir, is this a regime change or take out those in power and work with the new regime in power, sir? Do you know?
Yeah, unclear. I think it could be either, yes. to be honest with you. The attacks took out a lot of the leadership. It's like our National Security Council was sitting in a room and got blown up. So, yes. So there's some question of whether it'll be some version of the current regime with new leadership that will be much more willing to stop its terrible terrorist ways, or whether it's an entire regime change. And the president said time and again this is the moment for the Iranian people to step up and determine their future. This is their destiny is in their hands at this point, and I think America is going to help. But Marty, I'm going to have to drop in a minute, but I want to leave you with a thought because I bet you share this. So I lived in Pittsburgh at the time. 9/11 happened. In 2002, I wrote an op-ed for the Los Angeles Times, and it was like, man, we got to go. Iraq has weapons of mass destruction. We got to go get Saddam Hussein. The title of the op-ed for the LA Times was "Let's Roll Against Saddam Hussein." I mean, it was like Toby Keith. We got to go.
Yes, sir.
I have that framed on my desk because what came after that was 20 years of destruction, death, 5,000 Americans killed in action, trillions of dollars of spending. It was a disaster.
It was.
And I was a 35-year-old man saying, we've got to go do this. So the reason I say that is I got a lot of humility about what comes next. I think America has been scarred by those 20 years. So I think using our force carefully, selectively, strategically, peace through strength. This is what this is. This is a bad actor that was jeopardizing America and American lives. But that's very different than saying you're going to go fix Iran.
So you wouldn't support a protracted war with boots on the ground, sir?
I would not, and I don't think President Trump has any intention of that. And I'm a much humbler man and much more careful now about how we would engage and put American troops on the ground. And I think the president has those same instincts, and I think many Americans do. So I hope your listeners won't get confused between this action, which I think the president has taken with very specific military goals, with the idea of a protracted war. I don't think there's any appetite for a protracted war.
Senator McCormick, can't be more grateful, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, Marty.
I love the man. I absolutely love the man. You know why? Because of that. He never backs down, and he always responds. Very, very, very rare. Extremely rare. Unheard of. No, DeLuzio's the same. With all due respect, he is. From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. My friend Ellen, what's up?
What's up, Marty? It's pretty smooth sailing as you head out and about right now. If you do have to grab the keys and head out the door, not too many delays in your way. We do want to remind you of a new project kicking off during the overnights. Starting tonight, weather permitting, on the Parkway East. You could find lane restrictions in each direction on 376 between the Squirrel Hill tunnels and the Edgewood Swissvale exits. This will be happening 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Monday through Thursday nights this week. So do watch out for the traffic shifts around that. Of course, all part of the massive Commercial Street Bridge replacement project is this overnight work. So plan accordingly. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
When was the last time you watched your home movies?
Disasters strike unexpectedly. Every year, American families lose the one thing they'd run back into a burning building for: their family's memories. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box to help save your family's most important recorded moments so you don't have to worry.
Load Legacy Box with your old movies, film reels, and shoeboxes of photos.
We work our digitizing magic, converting those memories right to the cloud so they're safe and accessible forever.
It's fast, we always send your originals back, and it's done right here in the USA.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box. Better Homes and Garden, Real Simple, and Inc. magazine are all talking about Legacy Box.
New York Times columnist David Pogue says, have them digitized. I wish I'd done it sooner. Take action. Save your family's memories today with Legacy Box.
Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off while supplies last. legacybox.com/value.
This weather has me outside looking at this bay window we have in front of our house. All right? And then I put my hands on the inside, and I feel that draft. You been there? You done that? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Now's the time to go right at this amazing opportunity with Universal Windows Direct. So, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. How about this? 0% interest for 36 months. How about this? $500 off your home improvement project when you schedule this month. Folks, you cannot beat this. 412-545-6003. 412-545-6003. They're comfortable. They're energy efficient. They're this really cool space saver technology. And by the way, they will give you a free in-home estimate. UniversalWindowsDirect.com. Trump live at the White House.
So before we begin this important ceremony that can be much more important than this, let me provide a brief update on Operation Epic Fury. Today, the United States military continues to carry out large-scale combat operations in Iran to eliminate the grave threats posed to America by this terrible terrorist regime. Following our obliteration of Iran's nuclear program in Operation Midnight Hammer a short while ago, we warned Iran not to make any attempt to rebuild at a different location because they were unable to use the ones that we so powerfully blew up. But they ignored those warnings and refused to cease their pursuit of nuclear weapons. In addition, the regime's conventional ballistic missile program was growing rapidly and dramatically, and this posed a very clear, colossal threat to America and our forces stationed overseas. The regime already had missiles capable of hitting Europe and our bases, both local and overseas, and would soon have had missiles capable of reaching our beautiful America. The purpose of this fast-growing missile program was to shield their nuclear weapon development and make it extraordinarily difficult for anyone to stop them from making these highly forbidden by us nuclear weapons. We were the ones that were complaining. We were the ones that wanted it stopped, but everybody was behind us. They just didn't have the courage to say so. An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat to the Middle East, but also to the American people. Our country itself would be under threat, and it was very nearly under threat. I was very proud to have knocked out the Iran nuclear deal by President Barack Hussein Obama. That was a horrible, horrible, dangerous document. They would have had nuclear weapons 3 years ago, and they would have used them. But I'll not let that happen. For almost 47 years, this regime has been attacking the United States and killing Americans. Every time you see someone with missing arms and legs or a face that's been absolutely shattered violently, it was almost certainly caused by an Iran roadside bomb. They were put there by General Soleimani, who was the father of the roadside bomb. Very proudly, he thought, but I terminated him in my first term. This was our last best chance to strike what we're doing right now and eliminate the intolerable threats posed by this sick and sinister regime. And they are indeed sick and sinister. Our objectives are clear. First, we're destroying Iran's missile capabilities, and you see that happening on an hourly basis, and their capacity to produce brand new ones, and pretty good ones they make. Second, we're annihilating their Navy. We've knocked out already 10 ships. They're at the bottom of the sea. Third, we're ensuring that the world's #1 sponsor of terror can never obtain a nuclear weapon. Never going to have a nuclear weapon. I said that from the beginning. They're never going to have a nuclear weapon. They were on the road to getting one legitimately through a deal that was signed foolishly by our country. And finally, we're ensuring that the Iranian regime cannot continue to arm, fund, and direct terrorist armies outside of their borders. And we thought we had a deal, but then they backed out. And they came back, and we thought we had a deal, and they backed out. I said, you can't deal with these people. You got to do it the right way. Today we grieve for the 4 heroic American service members who have been killed in action and send our love and support to their families. In their memory, we continue this mission with ferocious, unyielding resolve to crush the threat this terrorist regime poses to the American people, and a threat indeed it is. We have the strongest and most powerful by far military in the world, and we will easily prevail. We're already substantially ahead of our time projections, but whatever the time is, it's okay. Whatever it takes, we will always, and we have right from the beginning, we projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that. We'll do it. Whatever somebody said today, they said, oh, well, the president wants to do it really quickly. After that, he'll get bored. I don't get bored. There's nothing. About this. Do you agree with that, Pete? I don't think there's anything, Mr. General. I think there's nothing boring about it. Somebody actually said from the media, I think he'll get bored after about a week or two. No, we don't get bored. I never get bored. If I got bored, I wouldn't be standing here right now, I guarantee you that, to go through what I had to go through. And we also projected 4 weeks to terminate the military leadership, and as you know, that was done in about an hour, so we're ahead of schedule there by a lot. But please join me in thanking every American service member who bravely is standing in harm's way. They really are incredible, and I just want to thank you. We have a lot of them right here. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. President Trump, speaking from the White House, I want you to hang for about 5 minutes. You're going to hear from a fighter pilot who was engaged in battle, who dropped bombs during the Gulf War. You're going to hear about the mindset. Is there politics? How do they train? How do they prepare mentally and physically for the possibility of dying? You're going to hear what these young men go through when they prepare for war, because they're at war right now. You're going to hear what it's like for his family at home, wife and kids. It's a riveting story, and he's my cousin. And I'm damn proud to hear his story because it's compelling as hell. I remember seeing videos, quite frankly, sent to me during the Gulf War of bomb drops, and it was riveting. Don't miss this, folks. Coming up, 5 minutes. Hang in there.
When the weather turns bad, turn to us for the best news, weather, and traffic information from the KDKA Radio Storm Center. Presented by Duquesne Light Company. Larger than light. And brought to you by Butler Transit Authority. Online and on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Hey, I'm Sam.
And I'm Calvin.
With Cousins Roofing, Siding, and Decks. You ever wait way too long for a haircut and finally get one and think, why didn't I do that months ago?
Oh, yeah. Suddenly you're walking taller, smiling bigger, and feeling like a new person.
That's exactly what it feels like when you finally replace that old roof or deck. You don't realize how bad it looked or how much better it could be until it's done.
And when it is, your whole house feels fresh again.
Give your home that clean-cut confidence with a new deck, roof, or siding project.
Call the Cousins.
Call the Cousins.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I own a coffee shop, and I wanted to label everything with our logo.
That's ambitious.
Cups, boxes, bags.
Ooh, that'll add up.
Not at all, because right now, Staples prints custom labels for 30% off.
30% off? That's shockingly affordable branding.
Yep, now our logo and URL are seen all over town.
Brand your business for less at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in store, online, or in the app by 4/4 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
You've probably seen it on local real estate shows or in the classifieds.
A home is for sale, and the listing boasts about having a petite bathroom or a petite kitchen. Hi, this is Barry and Steve Ehrenrich.
It's gratifying and most humbling to know that long ago the Petite brand became a status symbol in Western Pennsylvania. Whether you prefer a traditional or very contemporary design, upgrading your kitchen or bathroom the Petite way adds value and makes your home more desirable.
For over 50 years, we've helped thousands of satisfied customers make their kitchen or bathroom dreams come true. We invite you to visit our showroom at Petite Kitchen and Bath Design Center or call us at 412-279-2222.
You'll see great ways to create the kitchen or bathroom that fits your taste, your lifestyle, and your pocketbook.
Haven't you waited long enough?
PA 625.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
28, mostly cloudy skies at 12 o'clock.
CBS News special report. The U.S. and Israel have carried out more strikes in Iran. U.S. officials insist the war will not be endless. Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Kane.
Operation Epic Fury stands as a reminder of what the United States military uniquely delivers. The ability to project power on a global scale with speed, surprise, precision, and overwhelming force when and where our nation requires it.
Tehran has carried out counterattacks. CBS News contributor H.R. McMaster is a former Trump chief of staff.
What they'll do is continue to attack U.S. bases. They're attacking civilian targets in Israel and 6 other countries in the region. You'll see them try to shut down shipping. I think you're going to see them try to activate terrorist cells internationally.
The Pentagon reports 4 American deaths in the fighting. CBS News Special Report. I'm Steve Kathan.
And I'm Paul Rasmussen. Congressman Chris DeLuzio says the president should have made his case to America before attacking Iran. News Radio KDKA's David Ballarado has more.
DeLuzio says Congress can still speak up.
Well, I think the Congress can do some things here. I think we can say you can't spend money. If we don't say it's worth Americans risking their lives for, we can say you got to withdraw forces if we don't think it's worth Americans risking their lives.
He told KDKA's Marty Griffin the end game is not clear.
They took out the entire leadership, as best we can tell, of this government without a plan for what comes next.
DeLuzio says the Constitution is not a suggestion. David Ballarado, News Radio KDKA.
Also, Senator Dave McCormick told Marty Griffin the president acted within his powers.
Under the War Powers Act, he has to notify the Congress. His team did that. And then he has 90 days before he has further requirements.
He says House and Senate members will be given a briefing on the Iranian situation tomorrow. The war in the Mideast is sending oil prices up more than 8%. European natural gas futures are spiking 42%. That is in the wake of a shutdown of a major supplier due to the fighting. And gas prices are rising. AAA says the conflict with Iran could push them higher in coming weeks. With that story, News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush.
The average U.S. price for a gallon of regular gas stands at just under $3 Monday morning. And AAA's Jim Garrity tells KDKA Radio gas prices could rise further if tensions in the Middle East continue.
How much remains to be seen, and what happens next with this situation is also up in the air. You have everything happening overseas at the same time that you have normal seasonal trends, with gasoline going upward this time of the year anyways.
Garrity says it's too early to know for sure, but he recommends that drivers shop around, plan trips carefully, and consider carpooling to save at the pump. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street, the markets are bouncing back after opening down. Right now, the Dow is down 65 points now, and the NASDAQ is ahead by 70 points. The S&P down about 1.5 points. It's going to be a warm and wet week. National Weather Service meteorologist Mike Kennedy was Larry's guest on the Big K Morning Show.
Yeah, we're forecasting by Saturday up at the airport downtown 78.
78?
Yeah, that's what we have in the forecast now.
Kennedy says total rainfall this week, by the way, could reach 3 inches. KDKA Sports, the Pirates and Rays play this afternoon in Bradenton. You can listen to the game in a little less than an hour here on KDKA Radio. The news is brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick. 45 years of experience and thousands of 5-star reviews. TrustPJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time 12:03. It's 28 and mostly cloudy in Pittsburgh with the AccuWeather forecast coming up.
With Aetna, I always get a quick answer, and I don't have to search on the internet. They go above and beyond to help me with whatever I need.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctor's offices when requested. We show up with access to convenient care options. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
A luxury vacation home where the only decision is pool time or beach time. Your own private indoor pool, a real movie theater, a kitchen big enough for everyone to cook together. Whether it's a deep water dock on the lake or a private path to the ocean, SWAC Vacation Rentals has the place where this summer's memories are made. And when you book direct, you skip the extra platform fees and you get the best price. Give yourself something better to look forward to this year. Let's be honest, you've earned it. Visit SWAC, SWACKvacations.com.
Larry Richard for CertaPro Painters. For more than a decade, I've been working with CertaPro Painters doing great work for me, and now is the time. Get a free estimate, get on the schedule at the right price. You never have to wonder what's next with CertaPro Painters. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Looking for the best of New Orleans? Let AAA take you to the heart of the Big Easy September 7th through the 11th, 2026. Enjoy round-trip air from Pittsburgh, 4 nights right on Bourbon Street in the French Quarter, and unforgettable experiences, including the New Orleans School of Cooking, Mardi Gras World, the National World War II Museum, a Louisiana Swamp Boat Tour, Laura Plantation, and a jazz dinner cruise, plus 8 delicious meals and more, all starting at $2,865 per person, double occupancy. Space is limited. Visit your local AAA branch or call 1-800-354-8761 today.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for moms.
Hey folks, it's Marty. In my Get Marty segments, I hear from people all the time that have issues with debt. Check this out. If you're having problems with your debt, my friend Harold Shepley can help you right now.
Absolutely. We are a full-service debt relief law firm. We can help you negotiate your debt so you can avoid bankruptcy, or we can file bankruptcy if that's what's necessary for you and your family.
And the truth is, my man, it's not a hopeless situation.
Absolutely not. We're here to get people back on their feet.
I've seen them win, case after case after case. ShepleyLaw.com.
Wintertime, freezing temperatures, busted pipes. Man, that's terrible. And when that pipe breaks, damage spreads fast. It's terrible. That's when you call Service Master Greater Pittsburgh. Yep. 24/7, 365. Residential and commercial water damage emergencies. Stopping that damage, cleaning up the mess, getting your property back to normal and fast. When winter hits hard, demand that yellow van. Service Master Greater Pittsburgh. Call 412-RECOVER. That's 412-RECOVER.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
This afternoon, clouds will limit sun with a high of 42, then cloudy, low 31 tonight. Rain arriving late may freeze on surfaces at the start with slippery spots. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Heather Zare, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Suddenly it's spring. Discover everything for your home at the 44th Annual Pittsburgh Home and Garden Show, March 6 through 15, Convention Center downtown. Shop the region's most trusted marketplace. See our weekend features. Celebrity appraiser Dr. Lori, March 6 through 8, and HGTV celebrity host Ty Pennington from the hit shows Rock the Block and Battle on the Beach, March 14 and 15. Visit pghhome.com for details. Don't miss the largest home event in America, the Pittsburgh Home and Garden Show, Convention Center downtown.
And now for a business news update from the Pittsburgh Business Times. I'm managing editor Mike Larson. Mark Cuban will headline an AI pitch competition on the eve of the NFL Draft. Powering the Future of Sport, a Draft Week showcase, will be held on April 21st at the recently opened Robotics Innovation Center at Hazelwood Green. The showcase will include the $1.25 million Forge AI Prize, which is a national startup competition that's coordinated by Carnegie Mellon University's Swartz Center for Entrepreneurship and the AI Strike Team. Judges for the event will include Shark Tank investor and Pittsburgh native Mark Cuban and Dick's Sporting Goods executive chairman Ed Stack. Also, the top Pittsburgh executive at the region's 5th largest bank is stepping down. Mark Rendulic has led Citizens Financial Group Western Pennsylvania market since 2019. He announced that he's retiring after a 40-year career in financial services that spanned National City, First Niagara Financial, and Key Bank. He thanked Citizens for the opportunity to, quote, be a part of their incredible journey on LinkedIn. For more on these stories and other local business news, log on to pittsburghbusinesstimes.com. I'm Mike Larson.
From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in store and online. Staples, that was easy.
It's Marty Griffin on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I think about all the pilots engaged in battle right now in Iran and in the Middle East. I think about the pilots shut down over Kuwait, friendly fire, 3 of them. They're okay, but lost their jets. I think about my cousin Rick. We've been close since we were little kids and have followed each other's career and have maintained a very close relationship. He has been in battle in the Gulf War. I flew the A-10 Warthog. Check this out. This is a badass aircraft. During the Gulf War, flew over 8,100 sorties with 95.7 mission-capable rate. Dominated. Destroyed over 1,000 tanks, 2,000 vehicles, 1,200 artillery pieces. Wow. Launched 90% of the AMG-65 Maverick missiles. Despite being in intense anti-aircraft environments, the A-10 demonstrated extreme capability. A-10 pilots even had aerial kills. My cousin Ricky Griffin joins me this afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm good, Marty. How you been?
When we go to war like this, do you relive the moments when you were in battle, sir?
Yeah, it's a little different nowadays. It was 30-some years ago, but yes, to answer your question, I definitely relive the moments those guys are suiting up, strapping on the airplane and taking off and headed that way.
Hey, Rick.
Air refueling and all that.
Let's be blunt. You never, and pilots never take a side politically. You do your damn job, don't you, sir?
Right. I mean, yeah. You can't. No, there's no politics involved at all. I mean, you're given a mission, you're given an airplane, you're given a target, and you go, and that is your mission, is to destroy that target and come home safely and do it again another day.
And for a mission like this, sir, do pilots, are they afraid? Do they like this? Kind of give me the buzz. Kind of give me get in their head for me.
Well, my analogy, Marty, is you played sports in high school.
Yep.
And so did I. Wrestled and went to state tournaments, and the adrenaline. I mean, there's nothing like it. Are you scared? Yeah, just like any event that you're doing by yourself, even though there's a few of you together, not in the same airplane, but in a formation, doing the same job, and it's all quiet, but everybody has a job to do. You're still, the adrenaline, the fear factor is there for sure. But your concentration level is so high, it's you can't even imagine the adrenaline and the concentration and how you have to focus to get that mission done and come home, like I said, and to do it again.
Rick Griffin.
These guys are professionals.
Rick Griffin, who had an amazing Air Force career. When you were in battle, were you ever in danger?
Oh, yeah. I was shot at many times. And we have, back then, A-10 is it's a close air support type aircraft mission where we're talking to troops on the ground and they're engaged in battle and we're trying to not hit them, obviously, wow. and hit the guys that they're engaged with to help them. And you can watch YouTube. I mean, now you can see that, on YouTube what the troops talking to the guys did. Of course, back in the 90s, we didn't have, nothing was on video,
That's not true.
But,
that's not true because I saw some of the videos, my man. killing me.
That's true, but I'm talking. Yeah, it's not like it was exposed on YouTube.
Not like it is now. So Rick,
Yeah.
are you in there alone in the Warthog?
Oh yeah, it's just me and a big Gatling gun.
Yeah. So there is no co-pilot.
No.
No, it's just you. It's
There are fighter jets that have a lot of Navy guys. They have Wizzos in the back that are weapons officers, and the pilot flies the airplane and they designate the target.
Hey, Cuz, how would you prepare in terms of training for a mission? Let's say a bombing run. How would you prepare?
Well, I mean, that's what we do. That's all we do is prepare. And you hope that you never have to go and employ and drop, in anger, as we say. But
yes.
It's like any sport. You practice, then you have the game. We practice and hoping that there is no game, but that's just not the way it is. And when you prepare, you're actually preparing. I'm sure these fellas that went out there and dropped on here on Sunday, they went over it and over it and over it for weeks before this happened.
Hey, Cuz, I'm going to ask you to fill in the blanks on something that maybe you can't, but it has me a bit confused. In general terms, how does friendly fire happen, sir?
Miscommunication.
I see.
Misidentification.
I see.
It does happen,
Obviously.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to lose 3 jets in one time in Kuwait, someone effed up pretty bad, right?
Well, I'll be honest, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay, Cuz. Are you blown away by what's called epic fury? Are you blown away by the magnitude of the power of the American military today, sir?
Absolutely, yes. It has grown. I didn't think, I'll be honest with you, Marty, I didn't think it was where we were this coordinated and the efforts and the fact that we're clandestine and nobody, the news doesn't get a hold of it.
It's true.
It's great. It's great for us, for the men and women that are dropping and in harm's way. The element of surprise is so important for those people.
Hey, Cuz,
yeah.
You got to feel patriotic about this stuff, right? Right?
Well, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime that, we're called to duty and they do their job and it's done effectively with minimal casualties, then yes, very patriotic.
Not to age you, my man, but did they retire that old ass plane you used to fly?
No, they actually still have them, but they're thinking about it.
Let's be blunt, though. That's a badass plane, and they kept it around because it's a badass plane, right?
Yeah, it did a great job in '91 during the Gulf War, I have to say. And it was a perfect platform for that type of environment. More of a low threat. We came in from altitude, and we were able to employ and loiter and refuel and come back. I mean, I flew three missions a day, 12, 14-hour days.
Did you lose any friends?
Yeah, Steve Phillips. I don't know if there's any 810 guys listening, but he was a great dude. His wingman was shot down, and he was looking for him.
Wow.
And his wingman was fine, made it out. He was a POW for a while, but SIF went in looking for him, and he got shot down and killed.
So,
and then we had one another young fella. Last day of the war, he crashed on landing.
Wow.
He passed away, and then I had a roommate, Dale Storr, who was a POW for a while. We got him back though.
That being said, and not diminishing that, of course, is it worth it, sir?
Is it worth it to go to war?
Yes.
That's a loaded question, Marty.
Yes, sir. It's okay.
I mean, we did our job.
That's right.
And we were asked to do it, and we did it, and we did it, the best of our ability. Whether it's worth it or not, I mean, only time will tell.
His father, who I love dearly, was like a second father to me, quite frankly. It's why Rick and I are so close. My Uncle Mike actually is the inspiration for Ricky's career and for his son's careers. They're both pilots. And has my son even thinking about it? Do your sons being pilots, do they have that itch, sir? Do they want to serve like Dad did?
I think they did. One of them did, and Brock, but he, I think Mama squelched that pretty quick. I'll be honest with you. She didn't want her boys going off to put them in harm's way. I'll be honest.
Yes, sir. God bless you, my man. It's a hell of a story. I love you, and I miss you. And we're honored to be around someone who served, and your commitment and dedication to both America, your family, and your sons has been stupendous. Thanks, my man.
Thanks, Marty. Keep doing great work.
My cuz, Rick Griffin, love him. Love him like a brother.
Listen to the Marty Griffin Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
If you need a new appliance, this is your sign. Shop at Lowe's now to get up to 35% off and next-day delivery on hundreds of major appliances. A new appliance now means an easier to-do list later. Our best lineup is at Lowe's. Valid through 3/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Order by 4 p.m. Available Monday through Saturday. Subject to availability. Fees, exclusions, and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/appliance delivery for more details.
I know 2 women that both graduated from CCAC with nursing degrees have no debt. No debt. Folks, right now, CCAC is ready for spring semester classes. 130 different programs. My daughter's best friend transferred 2 full years of credits from CCAC with $2,000 in debt. That's it. Folks, it's the place to go for 130 programs. CCAC rocks. They get it.
Come with me to Get My Invisalign. They walked me through everything I needed to know. How long it'll take, how it works, and what to expect. Then it was time for the real part. They put on the attachments, they blend in with my teeth, they help the aligners grip your teeth and move them the right way. It felt a little weird at first, but honestly, not bad at all. They popped in my first set of aligners, showed me how to take them out, and that was it. I'm officially part of the Invisalign Club. I even wore them at a football game, super comfortable and easy to talk with. For someone who's always filming on the sidelines or covering sports nonstop, this fits my lifestyle perfectly.
So we had the warm-a-thon. 2D Mechanical gave away to someone in need a $6,000 to $8,000 furnace free. And that's just the start of it. Bob 2D Mechanical, his people, and I've known Bob since high school, have given away 400 plus free furnaces. Folks, that's greatness. That's a company you want. That's a company you can trust. 412-771-4100, 2D Mechanical.
Larry Older here. You know, one of the most rewarding parts of sharing Relief Factor with you is hearing real stories like that of Sandra. She tells us, I've been hearing about Relief Factor on the radio for a couple of years, and I finally decided to try it because nothing else was helping my back pain. I know the feeling. With a 3-week quick start, she said, I went for it. Now I feel like a new person. That's Sandra's own words, and it's so gratifying to hear. I've told you about my brother Kirk, having difficulty going up and down the stairs in the morning. He wouldn't listen to me. I told him to take Relief Factor. He finally did. Began moving better, feeling stronger. Too bad he didn't listen earlier. Try it for yourself. The 3-week quick start. And see how Relief Factor could be your game changer too. It is only $19.95. Think about it. Do the math. Less than $1 a day. So, call 800-4RELIEF. That's 800, the number 4RELIEF, or go to relieffactor.com, all one word, relieffactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain? 800-4RELIEF, relieffactor.com.
UPMC, life-saving, life-changing information every single day. UPMC.
A trial is 99% preparation, and nobody prepares better than us. Get the good guys, Goodrich and Geist.
My friends at NASCO Roofing take pride in exceeding customer expectations. James from Lower Borough was so happy with the roof work NASCO did in his home that he had them do his mother's roof as well. James loved NASCO's quality work and appreciated NASCO working with his insurance company to get everything approved. NASCO has satisfied thousands like James. Get NASCO on your roof. Call NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000, 412-373-2000. Most jobs done in a day. Special financing available. NASCO Roofing, NASCO.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
I find time spent with my cousin to be fascinating. And the courage they display in the stories he tells about, he lost friends, man. I am not an expert in any of this stuff. And we grew up together, and I never took his service for granted, nor did I take his father's service for granted. I think his dad, my Uncle Mike, I think he was a major in the Air Force. And the fact is that Ricky is a true patriot. I think he has 8 kids. I think he does. He has an insanely cool family. He has an amazing wife. They live on a massive piece of property outside of Atlanta. And I loved my uncle so much, my Uncle Mike, his father. And they moved south, my uncle did, from the South Hills. And my uncle served in the military, my cousin. So we go down to Atlanta to see my uncle because I wanted my son, Vince, to be around that. I just did. My Uncle Mike was a unique individual and filled the room with his personality. And I wanted him to be around Ricky's big family. So we stayed at their house. I think they have 8 kids, maybe 9. And then his family's so loyal that the kids that got married moved into the house. It's crazy, like the Waltons. And their commitment to family and their commitment to work ethic and values is astounding. And I remember when Ricky was flying the A-10 during the Gulf War, and there was flak blowing up right around him, and he could have been killed any day. He said, I serve my country, man. I'm here. I'm serving America. And he would do it all over again today. And it's an astounding commitment to this country and his patriotism that I love to death and always have. Oh, way back. We go way back. My man, Nick, go ahead.
Hey, first I'd like to thank your cousin for his service.
Amazing.
And the reason I'm calling in, I have a son who is a graduate, class of 24 Naval Academy.
Oh, wow.
He's currently in flight school.
Oh, wow.
CBS News special report, Iran airstrikes day 3.
This operation is a clear, devastating, decisive mission. Destroy the missile threat, destroy the Navy, no nukes.
Defense Secretary he has a little bit of time before
President
he
Trump's been
wings,
posting on
but,
social media. White House correspondent Weijia Jiang on what he had to say.
He said that it is the U.S.'s responsibility to do something about Iran's threat to the world, saying that we are the greatest power.
Trump's presiding over a Medal of Honor ceremony in the White House this hour. If he addresses the Iran airstrikes, we will, of course, share that. Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman Dan Kane briefed reporters about the firepower raining down on the public. Here's CBS's Charlie Daggett.
He specifically talked about space and cyber.
Okay. We'll take a break, folks. We're right back.
Hey, it's Andrew Filippone for my guys at Comer & Cross. With warmer weather, right now is the right time to call Comer & Cross at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Before that schedule fills up, your new Comer & Cross garage floor will transform your garage in just one day. And take it from me, you will love it. Comer & Cross makes it so simple. They take all the stuff out of the garage for you. They can even make it secure on site. They'll fix your cracks and pits in your garage perfectly. And one day, you're driving on your gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor. It is an incredible experience. So take advantage of Comer & Cross's great offer right now, the gold standard, a garage floor that's never going to chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever again. And these are pros, not subcontractors. So call Comer & Cross for your free, quick, and easy estimate before that schedule fills up. Call 1-800-NEW-FLOOR or just say, hey, Siri, call 1-800-NEW-FLOOR to speak to them. or go to COMERcross.com.
Another new year. Hard to believe. Let me help you make this a year to remember in a fabulous way. This is Dr. Shufo from the Weight Loss and Wellness Center. Imagine this. It's March, May, July 2026, and you're 20, 40, 60 pounds lighter. You're moving much better. Your clothes are fitting. Your meds are being taken away. Aren't these reasons enough to lose weight in a healthy way? Let me help. Just call me at 1-800-900-THIN. A year to remember, 2026.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
When it comes to building Pennsylvania's future, the laborers are on the job. From highways and bridges to schools, hospitals, energy projects, the men and women of the Pennsylvania Laborers District Council deliver the skilled work that keeps our communities moving forward. Joe LaQuatra is leading the charge to train the next generation, protect worker safety, and stand up for fair wages and benefits. When laborers build, Pennsylvania grows stronger. The Pennsylvania Laborers District Council, working hard every day. My people.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Cloudy and 30 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 12:30. I'm Paul Alexander.
CBS News special report, Iran airstrikes day 3.
This operation is a clear, devastating, decisive mission. Destroy the missile threat, destroy the Navy, no nukes.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. President Trump's been posting on social media. White House correspondent Weijia Jiang on what he had to say.
He said that it is the U.S.'s responsibility to do something about Iran's threat to the world, saying that we are the greatest power.
Trump's presiding over a Medal of Honor ceremony in the White House this hour. If he addresses the Iran airstrikes, we will, of course, share that. Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman Dan Kane briefed reporters about the firepower raining down on the Islamic Republic. Here's CBS's Charlie Daggett.
He specifically talked about Space Force and cyber, knocking out Iran's ability to see what was coming at them. He then specifically mentioned Tomahawk cruise missiles, among the biggest munitions that will be fired from this particular region.
4 Americans dead, more than 500 Iranians. CBS News special report. I'm Vicki Barker.
First responders are on the scene of a massive fire in Braddock. The 3-alarm fire broke out at a building in the 600 block of Braddock Avenue shortly after 11:30 this morning. So far, no reports of any injuries. Pittsburgh Regional Transit has released a revision of proposed bus route changes. Here's News Radio KDK's Paul Rasmussen.
PRT says the plan, based on feedback from 16,000 people, calls for more frequent service on routes with high ridership, dropping 13 routes and also adding 9 new ones. The number of buses running every 20 minutes would go up from 11 to 18. Routes operated every 30 minutes would increase from 27 to 43. And the agency says weekend service would increase, with the plan calling for more connections to Oakland and Pittsburgh International.
Details about the bus line refresh, including route maps and a schedule of upcoming public meetings, are available at kdkradio.com. It's going to be a mostly dry day with the exception of snow well south of the city. Looking ahead, though, National Weather Service meteorologist Mike Kennedy says we may see some significant rainfall.
It's just going to be the periodic chances of precipitation and a general warming trend. We could see upwards like 3 inches of rain total by the end of the weekend.
Temperature-wise, Kennedy says we could reach a record high of 78 degrees on Saturday. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 16 points, the NASDAQ up 100, the S&P 500 up 5 points. KDK Radio News Time is 12:32. Our next update, 1 o'clock on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Wesley Financial.
If you want to save money on summer camp for your kids, sign up now.
Yeah, this is the time.
Colette Marquardt, the executive director of the American Camp Association Illinois, says this is the time to take advantage of lower prices. She says you're making an investment in your child's development.
Camp, whether it's day or overnight, is an excellent opportunity for kids to work on their social skills and connect with and make new friends.
I'm Rob Hart.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare?
Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-939-1441. 800-939-1441.
'Tis a fine day to be Irish at Oakmont Bakery. They got the patty. Have you had this? That green cake? Delicious. The leprechaun hat, obviously shaped like a leprechaun hat. Loki cupcakes. There's a fine mint chocolate chip cupcake at Oakmont Bakery. Shamrock cookies, cakes, and brownies. And the Lucky Guy, which gingerbread, man. It's absolutely delicious. Look, man, you know I'm in. I'm a zealot. I'm a big, big, big time Oakmont Bakery fan where everything is delicious.
Been 30 time would have been 30, no, would have been 30, being 30, been 29. If that'll help, been 29,000.
Get ready to bid on the equipment you need in the Ritchie Brothers Northeast Regional event on March 25th and 26th. Inventory is housed at locations in Pittsburgh, Northeast Maryland, and North Franklin, Connecticut with in-person inspections available. Bid on a wide selection of construction and transportation equipment. Don't miss this great opportunity. Visit rbauction.com/Pittsburgh to sign up. Again, that's rbauction.com/Pittsburgh.
Food insecurity is still a reality in our community. 1 in 8 neighbors struggles to put food on the table, and many are seniors. That's why MediConnect is partnering with KDKA Radio to help feed the need right here in our community. MediConnect also helps seniors understand their Medicare options. If you're turning 65 or reviewing coverage, their local experts provide trusted one-on-one guidance at no cost. 888-818-6334. MediConnect. Insurance.com. Love them.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Clouds and occasional sunshine with a high of 42 this afternoon, low 31 with clouds tonight. Rain will arrive late and can freeze on surfaces at the start with slippery spots. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zare, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
Hi, Flo here from Progressive. You know, life changes quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, you mean like adding another vehicle?
Yes, that's something we can do.
Great, because I was thinking about getting a van so we could just keep the kids' softball stuff in the car.
Oh, we don't need to get into specifics. Just saying it's easy to change.
Oh, and Hannah wants to try the tuba.
Again, we don't need the specifics.
Last year, she wanted to be a tap dancer, but that only lasted 2 lessons.
Okay.
But she kept the shoes because they are adorable.
Well, just know that with Progressive, you can easily add another car to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, buy one, get one room of carpet clean for free. Unlimited rooms of carpet. Visit ZeroResPGH.com and tell them KDKA sent you.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
All right, here we go. Monday, starting the week off right. I will catch you all the way until 6 o'clock, but just after Pirate Baseball is when we'll get going. Colin Dunlap, right here.
One of my boys is Jerry Nasseri. We've been friends for, I don't know, Patrick, is it probably 15 years, right?
Yeah.
He's an amazing man from Iran, unbelievably loyal. Talked to us about going back, couldn't go back, worried about being killed, right?
Yeah, it's been a struggle to just see his family back there.
It really has, and he's joyous about this and hoping that the Iranians rise up, quite frankly, and overthrow the government. It's an insanely loyal expatriate population in America. The variation of the numbers is wide, from 500 to over 1.5 million. The largest concentration, I'm told, is in Los Angeles and then D.C. and New York. In fact, in Los Angeles, they call them Tehranians. Get it? Tehran. Here in Pittsburgh, we have a very significant group of Iranians, including Seppi Miller. Seppi, good afternoon. Thanks for doing this for us. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hey, Seppi, give some context. My friend Jerry Nasseri is joyful, apprehensive, worried, so many different emotions. Are you feeling the same thing?
Absolutely. And, you know, we just want people to understand that this is not just about politics. It's about the Iranian people. It's the people inside Iran and those of us outside of Iran. We all want the same thing: freedom, stability, and a future filled with opportunity. This is really what we're just asking for: basic rights.
This is what you want, what you're seeing in the streets. Is that accurate, Seppi?
Absolutely.
Isn't it?
Absolutely. Of course. You know, before the shutdowns, I spoke to many people inside Iran. The overwhelming feeling is hope. Hope for prosperity, hope for a new system, hope for democracy. Despite the fear and the retaliation we're seeing from the Islamic Republic, many of us truly believe this is it for the regime. This is the last chapter.
Well, Seppi, how the hell could anybody like yourself sit here without feeling horror and grief to know that they slaughtered 30,000 people, I think, in a couple days? I mean, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
It's awful. It's awful. You know, we see it, and it's not just for the Iranian people, you know, it's for the whole world. The Islamic regime hasn't just affected Iran itself, but again, the entire world. I mean, look at Lebanon, look at Syria. These are all happening because of this regime.
Give us your background.
So I was born in Iran, and we left Iran right after the Islamic Revolution. My aunt at 15 was at night writing something about the Islamic regime. She was taken to Evin prison and at 15 executed. 7 months later, my uncle was hung. And once you have executions in the family, they come after everyone. My dad, during Shah, worked for Johnson & Johnson, and he was able to forge his visa and say we're going on vacation, and didn't tell us anything. And we basically left to Germany. And the second we got to Germany, he filed for asylum, and we became political refugees.
How old were you?
I was, it was right in the middle of kindergarten, so 6 years old.
It's unbelievable. Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing you remember it as if it was yesterday.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I can tell you that even to this day, I'm 48 now. When there's lightning happening, it's just I become very tense. It reminds me of the bombing in Iran during the. It was right after the revolution, where the Iraq-Iran war, and feeling the bombing, hearing the bombing, and having to go in the mountains and hide. Yeah, it's definitely, of course, you couldn't forget that.
Seppi, so I ask everybody the same thing. I asked my buddy Jerry Nasseri the same thing. You want a regime change, do you not?
Of course. You know, we want stability. We want, people are just tired of isolation, economic hardship, repression. The Iranians just want to connect back with the world. They want jobs. They want investments. They want to speak freely without any fear.
Do you think the people of Iran are capable of organizing, rising up, and overthrowing this government.
I mean, they have, and it's unfortunate because this government, they have everything. The people are coming out peacefully. They're being shot. They're being taken away, and now they're showing that they're taking the prisoners from Evan. Now they're taking them to the bases and using them as human shield.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
This was the most recent news coming in from Iran.
My next question, Seppi, do you have communication with folks in Iran?
I did right after, within this past couple weeks, a little bit, we were able to communicate. I have cousins, aunts, uncles.
How, Seppi? How do you do that? How do you do that?
It's through WhatsApp and actually Instagram. We were able to do FaceTime through Instagram.
Do they have the leadership, either out of country or in country, to set up a democracy?
So right now, Reza Pahlavi is our unifying figure, which, he wants peaceful, organized path towards democracy.
What's happening today in Iran that you hear?
As I said, the most recent is the people that are coming into the streets are still, the chaos is there. They're celebrating. It's incredible the strength the Iranian people have in Iran, and they've had enough. And you could see that this is it. This is a revolution against the Islamic Republic.
You had the courage, and I mean this. It takes courage to organize a protest of the magnitude that you pulled off yesterday in Pittsburgh, because there are people that hate Iranians. Does that scare you at all?
It's not. I don't think anyone hates Iranians. I think it's the regime and the ones that do hate Iranians. They don't know who Iranians are, and I don't know. I mean, everyone that I've met, they love our culture. They love us. So it's really the regime that they hate, and it's what they see on TV, of course.
Seppi Miller, who's an entrepreneur, she's a refugee survivor. She's an organizer in the community here. In your perfect world, how do you see Iran in the next month, in the next year, in the next 5 years, my friend?
I mean, God willing, we just want to see this government to be overthrown. We want this regime change, and we want prosperity for Iran and the Iranian people. We want freedom for them. And, I speak Farsi. I don't read or write Farsi. I don't own a home in Iran. Of course, I have family members, and I have two boys. Husband was American. So I named my youngest son Cyrus after Cyrus the Great.
Wow.
And I would just love my friends and family and every influence that I've had on my friends here, whether it's Germany, United States, is to come back to Iran and see what a beautiful country it is. We just hope for democracy and this regime gone, and prosperity for the Iranian people. Obviously, there is pushback with a lot of countries that this regime has been funding.
Yes.
So what you will see is a lot of the people that are against this overthrown are against it, are the ones that are benefiting from this government. If you're not benefiting from this government, you are 100% against this regime.
Seppi, our kids live in a Pollyannic world, right? Where they have no idea what it's like to have loved ones hauled off and hung and executed. Wow. They have no idea what it's like to be put in solitary confinement. They have no idea what it's like to live in fear, do they?
Absolutely not. And I mean, thank God they don't.
Yes,
but
that's right.
It is hard. It is hard. It's, I can tell you the culture shock from Iran, where we lived this beautiful home, we had this great life, and leaving all that, leaving our grandparents, leaving cousins, and moving to a country where, we didn't speak German. My parents didn't speak German. And from a man who took care of his family, coming to Germany and not being able to do that, and living in a refugee camp for 3 years. And of course, mom and dad are depressed because mom's brother and sister were executed. And then now they have to pretend like everything is fine for us kids. It's really hard. It's not, it's not my story. It's a story where a lot of us Iranians had to go through. I was lucky to go with my entire family, mom and dad and my 2 other sisters. There were a lot of people that their dads and their brothers had to stay back, and the mom and the girls were able to leave.
Seppi, you're amazing. Your story's stupendous and very important, and I can't be more grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
She's absolutely amazing.
Are you ready for retirement? Hi, this is Brian Quaranta, host of On the Money, heard every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join me and your host, Rob Pratt, as we tackle the most important questions about retirement planning, financial strategies, and securing your future. From avoiding costly mistakes to maximizing your savings, will help you feel more confident about your financial journey. Tune in every Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. on KDKA Radio. Take the first step towards a worry-free retirement. That's On the Money, your retirement planning destination.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding. Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company.
From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in store and online. Staples, that was easy.
The amount of compensation received from a lung cancer or mesothelioma lawsuit varies. But at Pittsburgh-based Goldberg, Persky & White, the goal is simple. Maximize your recovery and ensure you receive the full compensation you deserve. Asbestos manufacturers spent decades concealing the dangers of asbestos exposure, and today, many suffering from lung cancer or mesothelioma are fighting back. You are not alone in this fight. Call GPW today at 1-800-COMPLEX to learn more.
The biggest reason Metropolitan Window Company has been in business since 1978 is our huge list of satisfied customers.
John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window and door company for over 47 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you're getting expertise and attention to detail from a trusted business that puts your needs first.
You're also getting our exclusive Infinity from Marvin 100% fiberglass windows that are built for life.
The most important part of a window is the framing. Fiberglass frames won't lose their dimensional integrity. They're the strongest, longest-lasting window you can buy.
And right now, you can save 20% and get financing on every window and door product we offer.
Stop by one of our showrooms, visit us at metropolitanwindows.com, or give us a call at 412-655-8411.
PA 1565.
Larry Richard for CertaPro Painters. I've been a customer for over a decade. Why? Because the professional work CertaPro Painters does protects your home, quality paint, worry-free process, free estimates. That's why I've relied on CertaPro Painters. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Wintertime, freezing temperatures, busted pipes. Man, that's terrible. And when that pipe breaks, damage spreads fast. It's terrible. That's when you call Service Master Greater Pittsburgh. Yep. 24/7, 365. Residential and commercial water damage emergencies. Stopping that damage, cleaning up the mess, getting your property back to normal and fast. When winter hits hard, demand that yellow van. Service Master Greater Pittsburgh. Call 412-RECOVER. That's 412-RECOVER.
Hey, I'm Sam.
And I'm Calvin.
When we started Cousins Roofing, Siding, and Decks, it wasn't a big crew or a fancy shop. Just Calvin and me in our grandma's garage.
We'd load up our tools every morning, build decks all day, then unpack right there in her driveway.
That little garage laid the foundation for what Cousins Roofing, Siding, and Decks is all about. Working hard, staying honest, and treating people like family.
We've grown a lot since then, but those family values still guide every job we do. Call the Cousins.
Cousins Roofing, Siding, and Decks. Call the Cousins.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Fresh off outbidding Netflix and agreeing to buy Warner Brothers Discovery for about $110 billion, Paramount Skydance says it wants to combine its Paramount Plus streaming TV service with HBO Max into one platform and challenge Netflix's dominance in the market. Shares of Paramount Skydance, which has a market value of just $15 billion right now, down 2%, while elsewhere on Wall Street, oil is up near $71 a barrel, but stocks have made a remarkable comeback from earlier lows after all the uncertainty around the U.S. Israeli military attacks in Iran. Right now, the Dow is down just about 0.1%. The S&P is flat, and the NASDAQ, thanks to investors putting money back into high-risk tech stocks, is up 0.33%. And the health insurer Elevance Health says the government plans to suspend enrollment in its Medicare Advantage prescription drug plans starting at the end of this month unless some compliance issues are resolved. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Have an issue in your community? Talk about it now with Marty Griffin. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Wow. I'm so grateful for the guests we've had. I'm kind of blown away by the reporters from overseas. And wow. But these stories, her story, man. I mean, that story she just told them, unbelievable. Meantime, I had to get back to Nick because we had technical issues, and he was telling a hell of a story about his son. We just went to the flight school and is training to be is it an Air Force pilot or Navy, brother? I forget.
Navy.
Man,
Navy
they're the
pilot.
best, man. They're the best. They're so damn smart. You must be so proud.
Yeah, we're very proud of our kids. Yeah, he's doing great. And the reason I called in is, I heard you talking to your cousin. And once again, thank you for his service. And our son is a little ways off before he wings and is deployed, but he has roommates that are deployed right now who are naval surface warfare officers.
Wow.
And we're talking back and forth with Academy families who we became friends with. And, there's Marines and, submarine guys and special warfare guys. So trying to find out where and ladies, trying to find out where everybody is, who's deployed, who's stateside.
I would imagine, Nick. And Nick, can you imagine how they're pulling their hair out seeing three of their best coming down from friendly fire in Kuwait, sir? Wow.
Yeah, it's actually, there was 6. There was pilots and flight officers in each.
Wow, great observation, great
jet.
point, sir. Yeah.
So, but yeah, thank God they're all safe. And just as a parent, as a Navy dad, right now our son's in flight school, so when he'll have like 2 flights a night or whatever, and when he finishes up, he'll shoot us a text, "Hey, heading back."
Oh wow.
These guys and women that are deployed, there's no text coming back to say, "Hey, Mom and Dad, I'm okay."
Wow.
So it's really
nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it is. And beyond that, we have a daughter living in Midtown Manhattan, so that's even a bigger affair for us right now.
But here's what I want to make sure you make people very aware of. Your son serves. He serves whoever the hell's president because he loves America and he serves his country. This has nothing to do with politics, does it, sir?
You're 1,000% correct. As soon as we saw the news and saw what happened, being a military family, it was winter, so I took my flag down for the winter and for Christmas and everything. First thing I did was put our flag back up on the porch. And regardless of who you're voting for or whose side you're on, it would be nice to see some support for these, men and women who are over there doing what they have to do. Maybe everybody can put a flag out. It's such a small gesture, but it would mean the world to,
Well, the thing is, having known several fathers whose sons went to the Air Force Academy, first of all, they're the elite of the elite. Probably the toughest school in the world to go through. They have to memorize this crazy book. A book they have to memorize.
Right. Yeah. It's Naval Academy has the same thing. It's they have this small handbook that they have to memorize.
And they can stop you at any time and ask you to recite from a page. It's crazy.
That's correct.
The dedication, the commitment to America and the family is absolutely amazing, sir. And I'm so grateful for your call. We're so proud of you. But for you and your wife, it becomes real, right? It becomes real. Like our son could be in a jet going to war, and that's real, isn't it, sir?
Yeah, it's very real. And when you watch all the highlights, the first thing you see is a jet taking off of an aircraft carrier. That's the first thing you see.
It's true, and that's where he would be.
It's kind of scary, and but God bless them all, and go Navy.
It's a hell of a call, my man. Anything you ever need, please let me know.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Man, what a way to end the show. Beautiful.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the